and it was so good.
You said hit the music?
Mm-hmm.
When's
That would
what's his
help.
name's birthday?
Greenies?
No.
Elise?
Yeah, it's this month.
No, it's next month, isn't it?
July.
It will be on my, it'll pop up on my phone at some point.
Smoke weed every day.
I know it's always the end of July.
Because I have to put people's birthdays in my phone. I forget everything. What?
It's like the 30th of May.
I don't think it's the 30th.
Paranormal. Paranormal. Paranormal.
Yeah,
Paranormal.
it's the third Tuesday. Yeah, it's on the Thursday.
Paranormal. 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 Paranormal.
Yeah, he ain't messing around. I think I saw it last time I saw him. When was the last time I saw him?
Paranormal.
Have I
He
seen him?
left that shirt and stuff. Yeah.
Paranormal.
Yeah, he did the same thing to me. Like, he texted me like, you got
really
mail.
not fucking around.
I think it's because of his parents. His mother's already been, his father had a kid. I think his mother was sounding like that. Something going on. So he probably doesn't want to exacerbate it by possibly. Yeah.
Creep with me. Creep with me. Creep with me.
Paranormal.
Betty is December.
Creep with me. Creep with me.
Paranormal.
Creep with me. Creep with me. Creep with me.
Paranormal Hood.
Paranormal Hood.
Paranormal hood.
If you're feeling lucky, duck, then press your luck.
Creep with me as I crawl through the hood.
We are the paranormal voice of the hood.
Creep with me as I crawl through the hood.
Jiggy and the hoodie.
Creep with me as I crawl through the hood.
You're listening to Paranormal Hood Live Radio with the sound of DJ Ron Rogans.
Police and tear gas the mayor. Oh, this shit is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Paranormal Hood.
This is Paranormal Hood. Jiggy and the hoodie. Ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Creep with me as I crawl through the hood.
Paranormal, baby. Is how we doing it. Paranormal Hood.
Paranormal Hood.
Paranormal Hood.
Creep with me as I crawl through the hood.
Paranormal. 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 Paranormal.
Shirt's been mail.
Paranormal. 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 Paranormal.
Smoke weed every day. Keeping it on lockdown. All world is in the building.
Welcome to my hood. Where ain't nothing normal. You can take a walk in my hood. Where everything paranormal. Everything paranormal. If you're scared of dying, we got something for you. Open up the door, you can be immortal. If you really try to rise, step into the buckle up. I'ma show you where it's at. We gon' burn a couple blunts, we gon' pop a couple caps. I ain't talking about 4 5s from the strap. Psilocybin driving, so we headed off the map. What you know about? Tasting color, seeing sound with a crystal eye. Turning nothing into something when we alchemize. Vandalize the lies with the truth. Ain't nobody wanna take shots to this proof. All we ever wanted was the answers. Looking for unique, but our vision keep us phantom. Phantom black man, ghost writing in a pentagram. I'm from the place where our thoughts meet the program. Not too many open to the power that they hold. Just know that when we shine, it's the reflection of your soul. Supreme beings moving, watch the galaxy implode. We are not alone. If you're not normal, welcome home. Yeah. Welcome to my hood. Where ain't nothing normal. You can take a walk in my hood. Where everything paranormal. Everything paranormal. If you're scared of dying, we got something for you. Open up the door, you can be immortal. If you really try to rise, step into the I gotta hold on to this feeling. I'll be seeing visions through the folds of the prism. Projecting all wishes, anything I want is given. Paranormal vision, you can call it supervision. Control the superstition, make them wonder how we do it. They seen us in the mud, now we out here making music with the paranormal movement that's stronger than what you deal with. If Jesus was just a fraud, then hallelujah for Judas. Caesar is not the mob, so it just had to be Brutus. They hate when we on our job, cause persecution is useless. Proof that what we doing is more than just making music. Utilizing the truth, drop it off in the hood. Show 'em what's really good, the feeling is understood. We know just what it means to get it by all means. Supreme beings moving, watch reality explode. We are not alone, if you're not normal, welcome home. Yeah. Welcome to my hood. Where ain't nothing normal. You can take a walk in my hood. Where everything paranormal. Everything paranormal. If you're scared of dying, we got something for you. Open up the door, you can be immortal. If you really try to rise, step into the portal.
It's my theme music. Every good hero should have some.
20,000 police in the whole town. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Smoke weed every day.
From Boston outer space, we're gonna take you all over the place. So sit back and enjoy the ride, because this is Paranormal Hood Live.
All right. You're gonna learn today.
And you know this, man.
Just mad cause your ass is old.
What's Hood Hoodies? Welcome to the Thursday night. This is Paranormal Hood Live Radio. I'm your host, Jiggy.
I'm Smoking.
And we are coming live and direct from the Garden of Knowledge Studios. What's good? Let's see who's in the chat.
Yeah, real quick. Everybody who lives in the United States who is expecting a t-shirt from Paranormal Hood, your t-shirts are in the mail, and these are your tracking numbers, but I'm not going to say those right now to everybody, so.
You can check your shit later.
So if you live in the United States, your t-shirts are in the mail as long as you gave us your address and everything. So all the people, those addresses we got, the shirts are in the mail. most likely, you'll have them by Monday or Tuesday.
Whatever
Some of
the
you
fuck
might
it
all
is.
be lucky. The people that live closer to us, they'll probably have them by Saturday. Everybody on the West Coast there, you probably get it by Tuesday the latest. The people overseas and out of the country, there'll be some delays in your packages. Thank you, BGZ. BGs. I gotta fill out some custom forms and stuff, and there's delays shipping to Australia right now, the lady said. England is okay. There's no delays going to England. They don't have to wait to send them out. So there'll be some stuff, and plus some of the people in England, your address looks confusing the way you wrote it. Whatever, I don't know if it's right. So we need to check on that. But I don't think you guys are even listening right now. So
Yeah, I think he might be at work. Jimmy might be at work. So shirts are on their way. That's all.
yeah, Cool K, DM Jiggy on Twitter with your did you
Or whatever. You know what? Social media.
so Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and give me your address and stuff, and we'll send a shirt to you too. I believe we already said this to you. You was like one of the first people that was gonna get a shirt anyway. Maybe you weren't here then because you're not always here, but yeah.
Yeah, so just hit me up on social media. All right, who was first in the chat? BG's was first up. What's up, Jonaside? Chuck Taylor. Chuck Taylor. Do you know about Chuck Taylor, the sneakers? Hands down, one of my favorite pair of sneakers to ever own. I actually found them in black, too. They were like these dope black ones, but classic sneakers. So you get a classic name to go to a classic pair of jeans. Let's see, who else is up in this piece? Brad Gray, what's good, brother? Cool K. Making my way down the list. Spud Wife, good to see you. Collie Armstrong, good to see you. Out of Mind. Where we at? We almost here? We almost here? We almost there? We almost there? I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I did say Jonaside, right? I'm pretty sure. You're usually number 1 and number 2 anyway, so you're probably already way back up there. That's all. Thank you, BGs, for your donation. We appreciate you. Like I said, your shirt's on the way. We just have to work out some custom stuff here.
Yeah, BGs and Brad.
Brad
like
Gray.
I said, it'll be a little bit. You guys shirts, they're all packaged up and everything like that, ready to go. Like I said, I didn't know I had to fill out some custom forms and shit. And then, like I said, packages going to Australia delayed several days or something like that before they even leave the United States to go over. I don't know. She's like, yeah, that's weird right now. And I was like, sure, whatever. So we have them ready to go. I got the forms and brought them home. I'm gonna fill them out. I'll bring them back tomorrow or Monday or something, and we'll get into the process of sending them to you guys.
But you will get them. You will get them. Yes, what's good, Victor, a.k.a. Leo Marvin, good to see you. So, yeah, we're doing it. Yeah, Cool K, get with me. It was one other person. I think it was Philip Blair, but I haven't heard from him. So, if he comes, and I'll ask him. He said limited flights. So maybe it has something to do with it. Plus, y'all may not want to get anything from America. They don't want no flights anywhere from America. They probably don't want no packages from America either. They're like, no, shut everything down. We don't want nothing, Shane. I want them to send nothing out. No people, no packages, nothing, Shane. What's everybody smoking on? Everybody smoking some good shit tonight? We're going to do some news in a minute. And then we'll get into the show. It was your birthday yesterday? Well, related happy birthday, Brad Gray. Did not know that.
Oh, congrats on your solar return, Brad Gray. Here's to many more trips around the sun.
And you'll get a present from Paranormal Hood. Just take a little to get there. Gorilla Glue. There you go. Blue Dream. Yeah, see, I've smoked those. Every now and then I'll hear something I've never had or even never heard of. There's so many fucking things, but I've had both of those, absolutely. Nobody else is smoking? You turned 49, Brad Gray? Well, congratulations. You're almost as old as me. I'm older. I'm already 50. You'll get there next year. Smoking pink cookies. I've never heard of pink cookies. I've had all kinds of cookies, but never pink cookies. Sounds good, though. CBD with White Ox. Now, is White Ox the strain? Are you mixing? Is that what you're saying? I'm a little confused. I don't know how CBD works. So I thought CBD was just oil. But CBD, well, you have CBD plants too, though, right?
Yeah, that's where the oil comes from.
Got you. Okay. Automine said something orange.
I don't know, man. It's called weed.
I forget the names most of the time. I don't really care about the names. Like, I know what I'm gonna get. I'm not gonna get any garbage, so I don't really worry about the names. Unless you say White Widow to me. Whenever you say White Widow to me, you automatically have my attention. Because I'm always hoping one day I can smoke something either exactly or close to that strain that I smoked when I was fucking living out west in Worcester from the Russian. Hands down, the best thing I ever fucking smoked at the time. I've had some cool shit since, but yeah, the White Widow was the fucking shit. Pink cookies is really, really, what? Oh, so White Ox is the strongest tobacco in Australia. Okay, so you mix your tobacco with your CBD. I get it. Yeah, I know a lot of West Indians who do that. Ron Brace, he was he's played for the Patriots. And I think he actually played for the well, they're just Washington now. But he was actually
the Washington football team.
The Washington football team. Oh shit! Listen, hey.
I don't know. It's so hard to be picking out a name for a football team and shit. They're like, well, we're just gonna have to go with football team for this year.
And it's not like no one's been telling them to have this conversation for like.
I know they like,
years,
you know what I mean. They should have had some shit already lined up here and everything. It's every year the pressure gets worse and worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think they can't just go with the red W because isn't there a college team there's a Washington college team? Help me out here, Genocide. I could be wrong, but I thought there was a Washington college football team that has like just the W on their helmets, like that's literally their logo is a W. It might not be Washington, but I know there's definitely a college football team that has a W. Is it Wisconsin?
Yeah, the Krakens. That just doesn't sound right. You know?
But it's
Seattle
cool.
Krakens.
Yeah,
it's cool though. It's all right. It's cool that you guys got a hockey team now and everything.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you guys are ever going to be forced to change that name.
I don't think anybody's worried about that. Yeah, I think it's fucking awesome. I saw the logo too. The logo's actually kind of cool. And jerseys, whatever. I can take it or leave it, but yeah. Hey, why not? It's a cool. What else would they? It was a cool name. They thought outside the box. Like they went way outside the box with Kraken. Like it's like cool. They wanted to get it cracking. Get it? Want to get it crack-a-lacking? Feel me? You can use that, Genocide. I give you permission. Ice cream cake is what you smoking, Victor? Cool. On prison, only metal wood. Got you. But no, I just know well, like I said, Ron Brace, he was part of the show for a while. He passed away, rest in peace to him. But he used to like to smoke weed with tobacco. I know a lot of West Indians are into that. It's kind of harsh. Not really my thing, but
you're doing the same thing right now. This is tobacco with weed.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like literally they would take
I know
tobacco, like fill it like with the weed and shit, which is a lot
harsher. They do it a lot in Jamaica and stuff too.
Just checking out this chat room before I start doing some news in a minute. You call it birthday cake? Birthday cake. What's birthday sex is the song, but yeah. Cake. You're not a prisoner, you're only locked up in the crazy ward? Well, hey, brother. But they let you smoke in there? That's a cool fucking ward if they let you smoke in it, shit. But maybe, I don't know how that works. Where are you at?
Australia.
He's in Australia, so they allow you to smoke in there and smoke weed? If they do, that's fucking awesome. Or at least the CBD, whatever. But just work, hey, whatever. You know you're in there. I guess you know why you're in there. So just if you need to get healthy, brother, get healthy. I hope that weed and everything helps you get there. In Oz, we call adding a cigarette a spinner. Got you. I don't know if there's a name for it. I think there is. I just don't remember it for some reason what they call them. But yeah. I've never smoked cigarettes. I probably smoked just for whatever fucking reason, maybe 10 cigarettes in my whole fucking life. I smoked cigars for a while. I was really into cigars, but I never got into cigarettes. Funny story. There's a fucking cigar, well, a novelty shop in Jamaica that I went to, and because I was with a group from fucking Boston, they always tell the people who's coming in, whether they make times, whatever. The dude swore I was a fucking patriot. I ended up getting a fucking case of Cohibas for free because the dude made me give him my autograph. He's like, I'll give you cigars for free. Just give me autograph. Because I forgot, he was Indian. He wasn't Jamaican. Well, yeah, well, no, he was Indian who transplanted there, had a business there. but end up with a free cigars. So if ever, I don't remember the name of the place, but you ever go into a novelty shop in Jamaica and you see Joe Webb number 25 hanging up next to Magic Johnson and Steven Seagal, and I forgot what other people on that wall.
You probably weren't even.
Well, it probably wasn't even really Steven Seagal. Or
It
Magic
probably
Johnson.
really. The dude thought you was on a Matrix, and
Yeah, but I
probably saw some guy with a ponytail and big dude like looking like Steven Seagal, a guy with a ponytail and stuff, walk in there and was like, "Hey, Steven Seagal, give me an autograph. I'll give you some cigars." He's like, "Oh, sure, Steven Seagal."
But I've had NFL players who thought I played the NFL. They just don't realize that they've seen me over the years with all the security and all the traveling and shit I did with different artists and stuff, and I've met a lot of them. And then they'll see me and automatically, because of well, I'm not as big as I used to be, but I used to be a really big guy. At my biggest, I was 415 pounds. So sometimes these dudes would see me when it was Javon Curse, saw me in Miami and swore up and down I was like, whatever, he invited us to a dope wave. Listen, me and my boys, we had a crazy time that night. Shout out to Javon Curse. That was cool as fuck, man. Cool motherfucker. All right. I smoke straight weed. Me too. That's what I'm saying. That's all I need. I don't need anything else. I don't need liquor. I don't really need anything else. I'm not a drinker anymore. I could care less. If I drink socially occasionally. Like I've drank at events and stuff because everybody else is drinking. But like when I'm home, I don't keep liquor in the house to drink. For me, it's just not my thing. Wine, nothing. I don't even. First of all, I don't get wine. I'll never understand people who are really into wine. But I mean, hey, do your thing. Wine just does not do it. Unless you have like those sweet wines, like a Riesling, or like what's the Moscato, shit like that. I don't like the regular wines. They just don't do it. A port wine isn't bad. I think it's like a dessert wine. But yeah, all the other wines, I'm good. I hear you, Chuck Taylor. Yeah, again, I didn't smoke weed. I didn't smoke anything for a long time. So cigarettes were never on my radar. Then it was cigars, and now it's just weed. I've just never picked up much. Cigarettes were just never my thing. I don't know what it was. A lot of people around me had smoked too when I was growing up. Jesus, wine. I'll never get it. I've been to wine tastings. People have tried all kinds. I mean, I've had clients and been to places like people's houses who've had like, Louis, like expensive old bottles of Louis and crazy looking on. Let me just try this wine. This wine is so old and it's back in the 60 something and we're gonna try them. Please don't waste your wine. Just try it. I'm sipping. I'm like, you're gonna waste your wine. I don't like wine.
Yep, you can keep that shit.
Yeah, you know what's funny, on the side, like I like Irish car bombs, but you're not supposed to say that because I guess it's racist, which I got told by a bartender one time, because I usually drink them on St. Patrick's Day, because all the bars I used to work on St. Patrick's Day, we would do shots, and that was a shot you would do. But I got told by an Irish bartender that's racist, so I ordered a Black Russian. He didn't have a problem with that. I was like, so that's racist. Fuck out of here. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's just not my thing. Mixed with water. Yeah, wine with water? You couldn't mix wine with anything for me to like it. It's just weird. Of course you do, Cool K. It's like, I mean, some people are really into it. I know a lot of people into it. I see it's really popular now, too. I see everybody drinking it and stuff. So, I guess it's just not my thing. It was like beer. I used to rather have some hard liquor than worry about a fucking beer. Like, you just gonna give me some real liquor before I worry about some beer. I'm taking some Hennessy or some. Jiggy does not drink Hennessy. Okay? And then you mix Hennessy with that fucking, what was it, Hypnotic, and then it was called Incredible Hulk, and you start thinking you're the Incredible Hulk. Jiggy does not drink Hennessy. Disclaimer, I'm letting y'all know, don't ever offer me Hennessy. I can drink the white Hennessy, but I cannot drink regular, no. Nope. All right. Let's find some news.
See why I don't drink? You won't ever hear me saying, "No, don't give me that kind of weed, man. That stuff make me fucking crazy, man. I'll fucking rip your head off and shit."
Yeah,
Nope.
I've never had that weed either.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Give it all to me. You fucking give me all the weed you got.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Henny. I really don't. Any other kind of hard liquor I was good with. To keep anything. Like, I've drank all kinds of stuff. It doesn't, but Hennessy, nope. Brings out the worst in me. No Henny for Jiggy. All right, let's start with something kind of funny. British teenager fakes Bigfoot sighting.
You're an idiot.
A clever teenage girl in England has taken credit for a fake Bigfoot video that was apparently so convincing that some people were certain that she had captured Sasquatch on film.
Epic fail.
According to a local media report, Ellie Marie Whitby conceived of the prank as a means of alleviating her boredom while on lockdown due to the coronavirus pandemic. Hey, she found something fun to do with her time. Ordering a Bigfoot costume online and persuading her mother to play the role of the famed cryptid seen above, I'm sorry, you can't see what's above, but I can. The teenager filmed a series of sightings in forested areas around her hometown of Rincon. I'm still not 100% sure how I managed to convince my mom, I'm sorry, I wish I could say with her accent, to dress up as Bigfoot and chase me around the woods. Whitby laughed, but she's quite crazy like me. After producing the footage, the team proceeded to upload it to a number of Sasquatch-related Facebook groups, both in the United States and in England. The feedback, she said, was overwhelmingly positive. To that end, Whitby recalled that my favorite response was from one guy who said, Ellie, I can with 100% certainty say that this is a forest being.
You are one pathetic loser.
Unfortunately for that true believer, their assessment of the footage proved to be incorrect now that Whitby has come forward to put an end to the hoax. While some Sasquatch enthusiasts may not find much humor in her mischievous filmmaking, any seasoned parent can attest that there's a lot worse trouble a teenager could get into nowadays than creating a fake Bigfoot video, and so her creativity should be commended, especially since she has since fessed up to the prank. You know what? In my book, she's dope. That's funny that she fooled all these motherfuckers, but for all you experts that she fooled... See? People are so crazy, so willing to see shit and just be like, oh no, it's real. That's definitely real. You can tell him. You got fooled by a fucking teenager. Good for her. Thank you for doing that, because now motherfuckers will think twice when they see shit and actually do some real research. Give me a second here. Potato poltergeist, plagues Indian family.
Epic fail.
A family in India believes that some kind of supernatural force has been raising stones and raining stones and bizarrely potatoes onto the roof of their home, as well as throwing them around inside the residence. According to a local media report, the case of high strangeness started last Friday night in the community of Umtru, when Kingstar Thongini heard a knock at the door of a neighboring house where his parents lived. When there was no one to be found, the family suspected that the mysterious sound had come from some troublemakers in the neighborhood and promptly phoned the authorities. While a subsequent search turned up no sign of anyone, things took an odd turn when stones suddenly began raining down upon Thongil's house. Confused cops on the scene could not figure out where the falling rocks were coming from, and the family eventually left the home for what they hoped would be a less chaotic location. Thong Ni and his children returned to the residence over the weekend, where they discovered a box of potatoes had been opened and emptied. Since that time, their home has been pelted with not just stones, but spuds as well. Chillingly, the eerie activity is not just confined to outside the house. Thongi says, as those items as well as various other household goods have been observed flying around the residence as if propelled by unseen force. This would seem to prelude the possibility that the barrage of stones and potatoes are merely the work of pranksters outside the house. In light of the inexplicable nature of the events in his home, Thongi and many other residents of his village suspect that the cause of the commotion is some kind of paranormal entity.
You suck, you jackass.
While they do not specifically suggest it is a poltergeist, the incidents are in keeping with similar cases of such noisy ghosts reported throughout the world. For their part, village elders offered the somewhat reassuring assessment that the perceived troubles are caused by either a deity or a supernatural being, which is merely passing through the area and presumably will be departing soon. It's just a ghost. He's just passing through, man. Leave him alone. He's leaving in a few days. You know, back then it took time. You know, they weren't airplanes. They weren't trains. They had to wait for a wagon to come, a horse. You know what I mean? They had time on their hands. He'll pass, he'll leave, the horse ghost will come and pick him up, and he'll leave. We'll try to put that with an Indian accent. That's hilarious. You got anything?
Oh, yeah. Let's go with this one right here. Twitter is finally going after QAnon.
Woohoo!
It's about time. It only took them how many fucking years to get this shit out of here. Twitter announced on Tuesday the social media platform has removed thousands of accounts associated with QAnon, a conspiracy-minded collective that spreads ludicrous, unfounded theories online. Twitter said their removal of 7,000 accounts is part of a broader push to eradicate QAnon content that has unfortunately picked up a more mainstream following on the right. The web of QAnon conspiracy theories is based on the belief that an anonymous insider in the American government is leaving bits of information about sweeping nefarious deep state plots against Donald Trump and the United States. The conspiracies pushed by QAnon associated online trolls have been taking many evolving forms, though usually pro-Trump in some tangible way. Often accusing a vague global cabal of generalized pedophilia and murderous plots. Adherent to QAnon believe life is one big cover-up for something far more sinister that they alone are piecing together online to expose the rich and powerful truth-subverting acts ranging from government overthrow to coronavirus vaccine conspiracies. You can see where this is going. While conspiracy peddling started online, its boundaries have worryingly bled into real life, ultimately prompting Twitter to act. We've been clear that we will take strong enforcement action on behavior that has a potential to lead offline harm. In line with this approach this week, we are taking further action on so-called QAnon activity across the service. QAnon shirts and placards started showing up at Trump events. The FBI has tabbed the group as a potential threat to commit acts of domestic terrorism, but the group has flourished and its absurdist claims have been amplified with an elite-level conspiracy theorist in the Oval Office. A slew of Republican candidates claiming QAnon affiliation is now running for office in 2020. There will almost certainly be a QAnon believer in the next Congress. Wow. We really are heading towards fucking idiocracy. This is like how it all starts, okay? It's been going on for a long time, but we're at the snowball effect, and it can't stop now, and we're going to hit the point where everybody's going to be like fucking Gatorade. It's got electrolytes. We put that shit on everything. I know they called it Mondo, but we don't have Mondo. We got fucking Gatorade with electrolytes.
Gatorade.
So, yeah. And they're limiting it up to 15,000 other accounts. And fucking QAnon tags on Twitter.
Good luck.
Funny shit.
I guess they'll WWG, whatever the fuck it is, they can all go together. And yeah, I saw that BGs. I saw Dolan called out Jordan. Jordan's like, I think it's because he's young that they all kind of take shots at him.
Well, because he's an idiot too.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but it's still like pot calling kettle black. I mean, Dolan doesn't push bleach and all that other crazy shit that Jordan's really out there with.
But he still puts bullshit. So.
But he still pushes exactly. So it's like them calling each other out. I find it all to be kind of funny because it's like, okay, Dolan out of all of them is a little bit more, I guess, somebody you can kind of listen to some of the shit he says. Where say that it's like, yeah, none of it fucking makes any fucking sense. But at the same time, I just find it hilarious that they go at each other. That's why I say just sit back and watch them call each other out.
According to a recent study, conspiracy theories is a sign of mental illness. Let's see here. I was shown the movie The Exorcist when I was much too young, and it terrified me so thoroughly and for so long that when I was 10 years old and a friend pulled a Ouija board out of her cupboard, I screamed at the top of my lungs and ran out of the house, forgetting my shoes, and all the way back home, up into my room, and falling immediately onto my knees to pray to Jesus to wash me clean of any evil cooties that the Ouija board might have gotten on me. Right. When my mother told me why I left my shoes at my when I told my mother why I left my shoes at my friend's house and why I was not going back there to get them, she calmly assured me that the Exorcist film was not real and that it was just a movie, just a fake story that didn't really happen. I accepted this truth and moved on with my life because I knew that I had a gullible side to me. One time when I swallowed a watermelon, seeing a classmate told me the watermelon would grow inside me and explode, therefore killing me. Yeah. When I ran home to my mom, she had to explain how plants need sunshine and dirt and other favorable environmental variables in which to grow. Yeah. So when I was sent to the psych ward after a ayahuasca trip that lasted for 40 days, which I write about in my book, The Big Dream, my terrifyingly beautiful shamanic initiation into the arts, naturally I was very confused as to why my mother was calling an exorcist and not a psychiatrist when I got home. It turns out possessions, while admittedly extremely rare, is real, and I experienced it firsthand. Right. It all started when I began dating a conspiracy theorist when I was a little over 22. This person's entirely family was drenched in teachings of people like David Icke, Alex Jones, and believed that the royal family of England were actually a group of lizard alien shapeshifters who were using mind control on the Earth's population from a space station on the moon. Apparently, this group of alien lizard people were using subconscious mind control through the knowledge of the occult and would present their Masonic and Illuminati imagery all over the world, hiding in plain sight in order to control your mind using symbols which our psyches understand on a deep level, according to him, would do things like add fluoride into the water system in order to calcify your pineal gland of the human brain, making true spiritual insights impossible for us, turning us all into sheep. Oh, that's good. Hold on 1 second while I fix my blunt. What the fuck? There we go. Much better. Eventually, I was roped into the dark and hypnotic thought formed by my partner's interest in becoming a free man on the land, which is every conspiracy theorist's dream because it means is that you give up your membership to society by emancipating yourself from the government. You no longer need a driver's license, you don't have to pay taxes, and you're exempt from having to get vaccines, which according to conspiracy theorists are the number one tool of the Illuminati New World Order lizard people in controlling and poisoning the human population and turning them into slaves. I thought this idea was interesting because I had never thought about the fact that I entered into a social system that I didn't consent to. Why was I paying taxes to a government who was spending my money on doing horrible things like cutting down old-growth forests for toilet paper, invading indigenous lands with oil pipelines, and throwing garbage into the ocean? Being a free man on the land meant that you didn't have to participate in any of it. I started to engage him in these ideas, and before I knew it, I was mesmerized by the dark and hypnotic thought form of evil that would eventually take possession of my body. He told me that 9/11 was a hoax, an inside job done by the government in order to install martial law, direct military control of normal civil functions. Which it's been how many years since 9/11 and we still don't have martial law. Hello.
Might be working towards it now.
He also believes school shootings were inside jobs as well. Somehow all of this started to click and make perfect sense. It helped me make meaning out of seemingly random tragic events. It gave me purpose as well as because now that I had this secret information, it was now my job to expose the truth to everyone and save them from the New World Order was quietly being implemented right under your very noses. As I learned more, I discovered that the evil plan had been in motion since the time of the Egyptian Empire. No, shit. God, you don't even know. It goes back to fucking Atlantis.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything does, right? So does Q.
I mean, why else would there be a pyramid on the American $1 bill with an all-seeing eye? My partner started showing me YouTube videos about how Christian religion was connected to the Egyptian Empire, and we say amen after the prayers because of Amenhotep. It says Amenhotep, an Egyptian god. he told me that there was a huge conspiracy where the Illuminati were co-opting the Catholic faith by using pagan rituals, practices, and calendar and prayer in order to indoctrinate Catholics on a subconscious level to the New World Order. No, now they're just telling them we're QAnon. Follow our breadcrumbs. And they're like, we trust the government again! Woo! Yay!
Yeah.
That was being built over thousands of years and was kept in motion by secret occult groups like the Freemason and the Illuminati. I became sucked right into this idea and was watching hours and hours of YouTube videos that dive deeper and deeper into these ideas, and because we were all physically interconnected via the superconscious mind, when someone believes something and entertains a thought form in their mind, okay, it is like you are investing your life force into it. When you start to believe something conceptual, you are now taking part in the creative power of that thought form. It's karma and in what that thought form is manifesting on Earth, like a psychic hedge fund. It pays dividends. Yeah, okay, cool. So that's why we're all driving around in fucking Lamborghinis and Ferraris and shit, fucking living in penthouses on the beach.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just manifesting that shit right into reality here on Earth plane. Woo! But that's not how it works, bro. You got it all wrong, man. Your vibes are off.
Chill, dude.
You're never gonna get the dividends, man. You're looking at it all wrong. Tune into the right frequencies. Okay, so what that also means that the hedge fund is now making choices for you. You have become completely hypnotized. It is like being under a spell. You are no longer making decisions based on your truth. This thought form started to make me believe that women were innately inferior to men because of the story of Adam and Eve. My partner believed this to be true, and I began to take the role of a subservient wife. I did all the cooking and the cleaning. I worked a day job to pay our rent so he would live his life as an unemployed actor. I fucked him even when he would call me the N-word, because according to this way of life, it was my duty as his wife. Mm-hmm.
And he got it all. She got it all wrong because Eve was actually in charge of all that shit. You know what I'm saying? She made the motherfucker like the apple. So you know what I'm saying?
A pussy makes the world go round.
Well,
that's it. Guys are assholes because we know we're inferior to women. So my inferiority in the relationship deepened when he began to talk about his beliefs that black people were incapable of philosophic or esoteric thought because they were primitive. He made me believe because I was half black that I couldn't understand his concepts, and therefore I must believe him because he was white and had to lead the way for me. I exited the throne of my own being, leaving it open for some other entity to sit in. He interpreted the story of Jesus that Jesus couldn't have been just a man with powers like his. He had to be an alien too. He thought Jesus' consciousness was an extraterrestrial nature and that the message he was bringing could only be understood by white people, and that is why they were superior. He thought black people and other indigenous folk were idiotic pagans doomed to never reach a state of higher consciousness. Oh boy, wow. It was a surprise. It was no surprise that eventually my body and spirit started to shut down. I became incredibly depressed and desperate. The conspiracy theories in my mind now ruling everything I did. I was no longer thinking for myself. I no longer had any power in my life. I was handing my life over to a man and to a thought form that would have me believe that me and my life were meaningless and worthless, and the aliens and the incorporeal spirits were in control of the world and therefore my life. It was these feelings that brought me to seek out an ayahuasca ceremony. I had heard it was soul medicine, and I knew I needed serious help. 4 days before my ceremony, the possession of my mind grew into the possession of my body, and for about 14 hours one night, I felt invisible spirits passing through my body. I was taken over by several invisible energy forces, each one specific with a personality that rushed itself through my body and took over my gestures, my movements, and even my voice. I spoke in tongue and language that I never learned, and at one point, I was unable to stop myself from rhyming everything I said like a court gesture. I tell this entire story in my book, The Big Dream, My Terrifying, Beautiful Shamanic Initiation. After that night, I was like a zombie, just doing everything I was told by the cruel and dominating voices that were in my head.
What's the name of this book? Who's this person?
I don't know. It's just somebody that's it's how she.
What was the name of her book, real quick?
Hold on. The Big Dream, My Terrifyingly Beautiful Shamanic Initiation into the Arts.
What?
And she's talking about, this is how leads to how she fucking knows that she's fucking got mental illness and stuff, though. Like, all this stuff, because she went through all this stuff, and then she's like, wow, I got fucking problems. They'd be like, yeah.
I found it. By McLeod Dale? Is that this person's name?
I guess I haven't, I don't remember what the fuck the name was.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, oh, Dale McLeod. The Big Dream, My Terrifying, Beautiful Shamanic Initiation into the Arts. A new memoir. Okay.
Mm-hmm. After that night, wait, we read that, blah, 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 blah.
That's what she looks like.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Just doing everything I was told. They started to tell me that there was going to be a race war and that I must go underground, and thus an epic hallucination emerged from my brain where I was living out a biblical prophecy. After 40 days of utter madness, which is the subject of my book, The Big Dream, I ended up in the psychiatric ward of an LA hospital with doctors trying to get me to understand that there was no Illuminati, that aliens weren't real, and that the fluoride in the water was to help stop your teeth from rotting. The psychiatric doctors explained that belief and eventual obsession with conspiracy theories are a sign that a person is not well and in a constant state of panic, overwhelm, and anxiety. These trauma-based states are a result of unhealed and unprocessed trauma that fester and become mental illnesses. Trauma research shows us that trauma is healed through complex and sacred somatic bodywork and healthy relationships. Trauma research is new, and new methods of healing trauma are only coming out now. After psychology became a science in 1879, it is only now catching up with the wisdom of genius of indigenous and shamanic healing practices that have been used to heal the transformed trauma since the dawn of man. After my hospitalization, hold on here. What the fuck is this? After my hospitalization, I met a traditional healer who also happened to have a degree in Jungian psychology and years of experience counseling people who were using psychedelics to heal trauma, and hired him to immediately start to unravel and address what I had went through. He explained to me that shamanism in its most existential form is exorcism. This goes on for a while here. But it basically goes on to show that she ends up being, after this guy, she goes back and she goes to the doctors and stuff. She's bipolar. She has all these problems and everything. And the book is how she comes to terms with this. It kind of reminds me of somebody else, but I'm not going to say the name and everything else here. We know that whole deal and everything. And now the books come out and everything like that. So, yeah. Because it just goes on and how she keeps getting stuck in this stuff, and it comes out and it's just, she's got all kinds of problems and stuff, and it goes back to her original things where she started believing in all these conspiracy theories and everything that happened to her and stuff like that, and because she was just insecure to begin with and stuff like that, and didn't know how to deal with it. And that's, again, we talked about it before plenty of times. That's it is like a mental illness and stuff. These people are so insecure, they're so frightened of the unknown, and not knowing they have to, they these fucking wild and outrageously crazy fucking ideas and stories make sense to them somehow, and it puts them somewhat at ease because they feel that I have the information and I know what's going on. When in reality, nobody's in control. Nobody has a fucking a clue what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? We have a general idea on how things work and stuff, but you don't know if you're gonna fucking wake up tomorrow or not. You don't know if you're gonna fucking, trip and fall when you get up to go get a drink in a minute or some shit like that. You know what I mean? There's stuff like that that's way the fuck out of our control and shit like that. So, these people that just gives them comfort and everything and feeling like that, and they feel like they have this information, and then for whatever reason, a lot of them, they feel like they're inferior to their peers and other people around them for whatever reasons, for whatever happened in their childhood and stuff like that, and now they feel like they have information that can save everybody else and stuff.
That was a crazy fucking story, though.
Mm-hmm. It goes on more because she starts the thing, and this guy's trying to tell her it's exorcisms and shit like that, and she kind of gets involved, and she has to go back to the doctor, and like, no.
And then the next guy told her it was Transformers. Good Lord. There's some people definitely need help out there.
Mm-hmm.
Or stay away from motherfuckers that would make you get to that point. Jesus.
Alright, here's another good one. Some witches... Hold on one second. Some witches allegedly tried to hex the moon on TikTok. Here's what happened. The growing consensus in the witch community is that whoever started the story was doing it for attention. What has the moon ever done to anyone? She's been quietly minding her business for 4.5 billion years, controlling the tides and stabilizing Earth's axial tilt. But over the weekend, social media went wild with allegations that a bunch of baby witches on TikTok hexed the moon to try to prove their power. The rumors started on Witch Talk. Hashtag Witch Talk. The supernatural corner of TikTok, which has more than 2 billion views. Creators alerted each other about a group of young witches who had hexed the Fae, the folkloric fairy-type creature who you apparently shouldn't mess with, and the moon, and that the rogue coven had their eyes set on the sun next. This news quickly spread through social media platforms and turned into a meme overnight. It's unclear who the baby witches are or if the story is even true, let alone the wider practical implications of whether hexing the moon is even possible. When Vice dug into the story, we found no evidence to prove the act had actually happened. Multiple people have since claimed to have been behind the hexing, but the witches we spoke to say that they've suggested to find a single reliable source for the rumor. Some are now calling the story an outright hoax, describing it as misinformation to mock them as a community. Stephen, a.k.a. a Witch's Path, a 31-year-old witch based in England, blames social media for making it difficult to pin down the finer details of the story, but says this type of internet spectacle isn't new. There's always seems to be a witchy drama on Witch Talk, which is why it's witchy. And I tend to avoid that platform, he explains. He prefers Instagram.
He likes to gram, yo. That's his shit.
Where he co-admins Witches Society, a page with nearly 250,000 followers. As someone who has practiced witchcraft for over 2 decades, the initial reaction was to ignore the story, but he was shocked to see how much attention it gained. My reaction to the situation itself was more confused on why practitioners were perpetuating and sensationalizing this and presenting it as though the moon... or Fae, the deities themselves, were under some kind of threat. He doesn't think it's worth entertaining the idea that anyone even could hex the moon. This is coming from a witch now. She's got, very powerful following. Mm-hmm. He doesn't even think he can hex the moon. I think it's a bit of a grandiose assumption that this kind of work would have an effect on anyone's practice, let alone worldwide. Nancy, an Edinburgh-based professional tarot reader and witch, aka Homebrew Witch on Instagram, was confused when she saw the story because the moon has been a massive source of importance for witches across centuries. When I hex, there's a very specific goal in mind, she says. I do not understand what anyone could gain from hexing the moon. Nancy finds hexing helpful in some contexts, but can't see why anyone would go after a celestial body. For her, hexing usually comes in the form of political protest, which is then followed by action, letting people know you've done the hexing. Oh, well, you've hexed me. Oh my god, what am I gonna do now? Because if you don't tell somebody they've been hexed, they'll never know that they were hexed, because nothing's actually gonna happen to them.
Are you sure? Something could happen.
Yeah. Letting people know you've done it is really effective in unnerving people. Oh yeah, because oh my god, you've hexed me. Don't remove the hex from me, please. All you witches out there, you can hex me all you want. And I think it's also a good expression of how you feel about something, as well as showing your stance on things. An excellent example of that was the Trump hex when he got elected. Nancy thinks there's a very slim chance that anything would actually happen to the moon if someone hexed it. The only thing my mind jumped to was Trump potentially mining the moon because it is something humans can't actually reach. She laughs on the phone. Right. TJ, aka the half-ass witch, from her Instagram picture here, I could see why she's the half-ass witch. She's one of those witches who doesn't like to wear clothes. What up, Wiz?
What up?
So she's a half-ass witch. She's not a full-ass witch.
What up, kid?
She's a half-ass witch. 25-year-old witch from Southern California with a loyal following across Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I wonder why. I don't think it has to do with her witching and hexing. Found the whole thing funny. Someone said it's like literally a kid punching the ocean waves. It's irresponsible, and that's why a lot of us are laughing, because it's kind of impossible. So if nothing is likely to happen, why would anyone try hexing the moon? The growing consensus in the witch community is that whoever started the story was doing it for attention, and there's not much evidence for it being true. In fact, one TikTok user who initially claimed responsibility and apologized has since deleted their videos and posted, "Y'all witches are dumb. I don't care if y'all try and hex because that shit is fake." I don't necessarily feel anything towards the individuals who claim this, says Steven. I feel a chunk of the community has allowed themselves to become the butt of memes and jokes purely for their actions and words surrounding something that should have been given a stag. TJ agrees, saying it sheds light on how unregulated and problematic the witchcraft community can be to a certain extent. Mostly she felt disappointment at people's lack of research and the lack of respect for the craft, including themselves.
Hurt that witch's feelings.
The lack of research, she says. And the respect for the craft.
And talking about the movie?
Yeah, maybe. Which they're remaking.
Are they?
Oh, yeah, of course. But most of the community isn't even mad. It seems most practicing witches aren't even taking the story too seriously. In all honesty, it is a little funny, and some of the memes I've seen are a comic relief to those who actually took this seriously. Nancy thinks the most likely outcome from the viral moment will be a brief spike of people being interested in witchcraft. She's also dreading the draining community infighting that will result from this, but she's trying to look at the positive side of the situation. I'm a massive fan of Witch Talk, Witchy Tumblr, and Witchtagram, etc., because I think it's a really great way for people that are trying to dip their toes into witchcraft, she says. I don't have a problem with people finding stuff that witches do funny because I find what I do funny. I think meme culture is such a great way witches to actually interact with each other and other people from all different kinds of traditions.
Yeah, them witches are crazy, yo.
Hex the moon.
wishes.
That's it. That's it for those witches. But well, you want some more QAnon news?
No. It never ends well. Where none go, some go.
QAnon believers think Elon Musk's hook'em horns was the secret devil worship sign. Uh-oh, dun dun dun. Elon Musk worships the devil. All you witches better go hex some. Conspiracy theorists on Twitter are having quite the day after Tesla CEO Musk and Texas Governor Greg Abbott flashed what they believe to be a satanic hand sign. The incident unfolded on Wednesday after Abbott announced alongside Musk that Texas would be the future site of Tesla's Cybertruck factory. Tesla picks Texas for its Cybertruck factory, thanks to Elon Musk and Tesla embracing our great state. Abbott tweeted, "The Gigafactory will employ thousands of Texans and be a cornerstone for the next generation innovation. It's been fun to get to know you. Welcome to Texas." And then there's a picture of him going like this. Yeah!
Wouldn't that be for like the Longhorns? But okay, hey, I mean, what do I know?
A photo accompanying the tweet shows both Abbott and Musk displaying the hook'em horns, the official hand signal of the University of Texas at Austin. The gesture is intended to resemble the head of a Texas Longhorn. Of course. A breed of cattle which is also the university's mascot. And I also believe it's, that's probably one of the most bred fucking breeds in fucking Texas. There's fucking Longhorns everywhere in fucking Texas. But for conspiracy theorists, that picture was the proof that they needed for something more sinister.
Bum, bum, bum.
That's a satanic occult hand sign. One user wrote, "Just Google signs of the occult, and this, along with other signs and symbols, will show up." Uh-oh. Yeah, Right, and those are also signs for sign language that they're showing in the post. The guy... Those are like actual sign language. They're satanic occult symbols, though. The number one.
Those damn people who use sign language.
The number two. The number three.
You're an idiot.
Oh, these QAnon people.
You are one pathetic loser.
Believers of the QAnon conspiracy theory also weighed in, referencing the popular Q-related phrase, "Symbolism will be their downfall." At least some of the commenters actually knew what the hand sign meant. The comments regarding the hand sign are hilarious. It's Texas. Texas football is huge in Texas. It's the hook'em symbol. One user wrote, "Like the bullhorns and the mascot, and no, they don't worship Bevo in Texas." Even with a logical explanation laid out for them, the conspiracy theorists weren't ready to give up on their satanic fantasies. To the elite, it's not the hook'em horns, it's the devil's symbolism, one woman said after being told what the gesture actually meant. "I stand by my tweet. They're satanic." And that's it. That's all I got for the news this week. I mean, come on now. You can't fucking... this symbol fucking means all kinds of fucking shit. They're all different people all across the fucking world.
But in Texas, it definitely has a different meaning.
It definitely has, it's definitely not a satanic fucking meaning. Especially in Bible-loving Texas.
Lord of mercy. You know, I'm not going to read this whole thing as news, but I guess it's something we could talk about too, because I'm sure some people in the chat know about the New York Times article that came out. That's even what you really want to call it. It seems like a bunch of regurgitated bullshit and a whole lot of fucking ass kissing to the fucking TTSA and shit. Listen, did anybody see anything revolutionary in that article? Did anybody see anything new that hasn't really been discussed or whatever? Did the article blow anybody away that's read it? And if you haven't read it, if somebody could, like someone who's a moderator, if you could put up a link to it in the chat, that'd be fucking awesome. Or maybe I can actually. Hold on. Give me 1 second. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Give me a second. I'll put it up in there. I have it right in front of me. So I can figure out how to use my fucking phone. Sorry, I gotta do a couple things here. There you go. So that's actually the link to the actual New York Times article, and if you haven't read it, you can click on it and go read it. And people have been talking about it, and it's been like major news in this little world that we all kind of live in, who are watching, and who we're talking to, and who we talk with and stuff. And it seemed like it was supposed to be some revolutionary article that was just really going to blow the lid on something, and it just didn't. It just didn't do anything new or say anything new. It seemed like it kind of was kissing.
I'm hearing the same shit for fucking years.
Yeah, I just didn't see anything new.
Fucking dates change.
Yeah, and the names and the faces and stuff, and I just wasn't impressed at all. It's a lot. It reminded me of the same thing like with the Vice article that came out. Where it's like, I'm just not impressed with these articles. Like, they're not groundbreaking. They're not saying or doing anything that's really causing any kind of ruffle. And people, again, there are a lot of people who aren't normally into this whole thing that we all do, and who are getting into it now because they have a lot more time on their hands, and they're sitting at home and they're scared and they're paranoid, and there's so much information and bullshit coming from all different directions that they jump into this stuff, and they'll read something like that and it would just take them down some crazy fucking rabbit hole that, if you know anything about that whole situation with what's the guy's name? I can't remember all their names and shit, and I gotta bring the article back up because I had to fucking go from one place to another, so hold on. But it just seemed like they were just talking about this what is it, the fucking To the Stars Academy guy who has a connection with Tom DeLonge and these people and stuff, and it was just nothing new. And it's the same regurgitated shit that we've been hearing for years now. Same people who are involved, and it was just, I read this whole article thinking it was going to tell you something, and it's nothing. And basically all of the article is saying is that there's a unit that will make some findings public. And if you see the set that they made public, the Tic Tac UFO and all this type of shit, I don't know who's impressed with it. I'm not. And I think because of the time span too, and when it was, if you actually listen to the audio and stuff like that, one of the things that I immediately noticed is that when the pilots are talking back and forth to each other, they're asking if it's something that is at a so-and-so, which they redact. You can't hear it, and you can't see it because they take that out of it when you read it also. The pilots clearly knew that there was some kind of technology that they had, or that they were using or experimenting with, that they knew existed at the time, and that's what they thought it was. So there's not a possibility that they didn't already fucking have drones or stuff that they were testing and doing crazy stuff with, or whatever that was out there. And you would test your pilots. You would want to see how your pilots would respond to something like that. What could your pilots do against something like that and not let them know? Or it could just been some bullshit. Some fucking people who were inventing drones at the time were testing stuff out and stuff. It just doesn't seem like anything that's incredible or crazy. If it was something that fast and something so beyond anything that we could see or do, whatever, they wouldn't have been able to catch it. Their cameras wouldn't have been able to catch it. It would have been gone, and it's so fast it would have just kept moving. Nothing would have caught this shit. So these videos that they're all using and holding up as evidence and stuff like that, that there's some kind of disclosure, it does not mean that there's disclosure. It does not mean anything. They're just videos that are old too. It's not like these fucking things were recorded in 2017 or whatever when they first started getting disclosed. So this is older stuff too. And since then, I'm pretty sure they've probably identified what this shit is. That's why they don't care about putting it out. And even if it was UFOs, it does not mean aliens. It does not. It just means that there's some shit that somebody's up there flying around. Could be an enemy, could be us, could be some stuff that somebody's testing for the government or trying to get a government contract, or it could be one of another country sending some shit over here. But it does not mean aliens. Yeah, I just want to read this whole article because it's a long fucking article. So that's why I put up the link in the chat. But I don't get it. There's nothing that's come out that's been impressive, like nothing. You thought New York Times was going to at least do some real fucking research and stuff like that. They didn't. They just did some research into a certain area that they were told. They did some research into somebody who probably has a connection with the New York Times. Was like, you should do an article on this. All right, let's do an article on it. The video was cleared as experimental Navy drone vid by DOD. See, Super V Funky, I didn't even know that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, since the first time I saw the video, I was just never impressed. One, because they told you that it was like early 2000s or something when they captured that video. And you could just tell by the way the pilots were speaking to each other that they knew that the government or the military or whomever, whatever private industry was testing stuff out at that time. And that they were flying shit all around them and stuff. And clearly they would see stuff. Some of the stuff they could identify, some of the stuff they couldn't. But they knew there was some shit up there. And that's the thing where I knew immediately it had to be early drone technology they were testing, because the drones that most people see, they think about either the kids drones or the phantom drones, or you think about when they talk about drones, especially in war, they always show you those fighter jet looking drones. They look like jets. They just say, well, just look like a plane, like an autonomous plane, because it doesn't really have a cockpit. There's no opening anything. It just looks like a black or darkish gray looking vehicle, like plane that's flying through the air, and it has weapons on it. Use missiles or whatever. I don't know if they have machine guns. I know they definitely launch missiles from them. But that's what most people think of drone technology. They don't think that there's any other kind of drones because that's what they show you. But they have all kinds of drones. You can go look up right now. I don't feel like looking up the damn video. I'm not fucking look it up guy. Even the government, the military has these swarm drones that shoot out like hundreds of drones at a time that all work together, and that they're basically going to start using them in war and stuff. What's up, Leo? Sorry, I got a friendly visitor down here. But so there's all kinds of drones, not just those drones that people think they use when they do drone strikes and stuff like that. These motherfuckers have all kinds of shit. And back then they were definitely testing them out, because that was when the technology really started to come out. And that's when people started to understand what drones were. They were showing these crazy drones they were testing at you. They looked like they were kind of UFOs, but these things were like full of all kinds of antennas, and they looked like radar jammers and stuff. Who knows what the fuck they were for, but they were definitely identified as drones. Oh, so that's how Elizondo signed it out. UFO or not, the DOD okayed it as a drone, not UFO. See, that makes sense. Oh yeah, can you see the puppy? Can you see him? Say hi, Leo. I think they can see your head. Yeah, they can see his head. That's Leo.
Come on, bud.
See you later, buddy. Good to see you, Bubba.
Come on.
All right, big boy. He wants to stay down here. He wants to be a co-host. Probably would have got up here and start talking. Yeah, say bye, Leo. But yeah, thanks for that information, V, because some of that stuff I didn't know. But for me, that's what it's always been. Like, it just made sense that this was early. That's why they're releasing it now. Like, I'm pretty sure at this point in 2020, that they've probably in the past few years have had some drone technology that makes it look sick. You can go on there's some channel, I don't even know which channel it is, that have like those drone races, and you see these people that take these regular fucking drones that you can get that aren't that expensive, but they just do all kinds of little things to them. And these things are super fast, and you put some super bright lights on them. And just imagine people building stuff like that in bigger scale for the fun of it, just for the hell of it. And it's all kinds of shit that people are flying at night now with fucking LED lights and shit and everything on it that people think are UFOs. Whatever. What is that? Open back up. He said he wants to co-host tonight. He's about it. So yeah, I'm not impressed with that stuff. And especially when Tom DeLonge was one of the first people to start talking about that stuff and I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, and then his boys, that the guy's part of TTSA and his fucking To the Stars Academy, who have done what? Now it just makes them look like, oh, they're in the forefront of this race. They're part of this. They're doing it. They ain't doing shit. Bunch of bullshit videos that could easily be debunked and stuff that aren't. I'm sorry, was it Captain Fravor? I know that this guy is going to talk about it. As a pilot, that's fine. He maybe could not identify what he saw. It does not make it anything more than some crazy-ass drone technology that he just was not able to recognize at the time. That's it. All that stuff about banking and stuff, if you've ever flown a drone, just these simple drones. If you've ever flown a good Phantom drone or these the better drones, you understand what drones are capable of doing now. So even on a bigger scale, which the government does have bigger fucking drones that aren't just fucking missile launching drones, that these motherfuckers have some crazy shit. Exactly. Think about, they're doing, some countries don't even do regular fireworks anymore. They're using drones for their fucking fireworks displays and stuff like that. Like, they're doing exceptionally crazy shit with drones at this point. So you mean to tell me that that's not the shit that they were seeing back then? They just didn't know what it was? Hey, baby. When I saw those military drones, I was like, shit, eventually they're not going to send troops first. They're going to send in drones first. Those drones will be able to do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Soldiers will have like personal drones and shit that they can fly. They'll go ahead of them and fucking scout shit out. Do shit like that. Which is smart anyways. Let those fucking metal go in there and fucking take the hit. Excuse me. But it also leads us to what we kind of want to talk about tonight, because we watched a very interesting video, and I don't know if you guys have seen the fucking Joe Rogan with George Knapp and Jeremy Corbel fucking fanboy circle jerk fucking fest that went on, man.
I don't know if it's because fucking the Netflix fucking deal that Joe Rogan has, you know what I mean? And they're on Netflix. Fucking Corbel and shit, and his stuff is on Netflix. I don't know if they're like, Netflix is like, play nice guys. Because Netflix isn't like the normal movie industry. They're more like a pimp. The way that I understand it, and the way that a lot of people say that are in that part of the industry and stuff. They're kind of like a pimp. You do good work and do what they tell you to do. They take good care of you.
Yeah.
You get out of line, though. You get out of line, though, and you're done.
You're going to feel the backhand, baby. Put the pimp hand in. We got some baby powder?
So, because the stuff that fucking Joe, they were showing Joe, and they were talking about, and Joe's sitting there fucking like, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's so fucking real. And especially when it came to showing the dead fucking bodies and shit of like animals on Skinwalker Ranch and everything, you could clearly see that it was eaten by an animal. You can clearly tell it. That you could see the bite marks, you could see the claw marks, you can clearly see. And Jeremy and fucking George are sitting there like, no, that's surgical precision.
And even Joe's
surgical
like,
precision
as a hunter,
marks.
you know that Joe knows this shit. He's a hunter.
And he's looking at it, he's like, yeah, that looks like, it's like a metallic edge made that. And I'm like, seriously? And then another one, they're like, yeah, the face was ripped right off of it and stuff. I'm like, no, it's been sitting in the desert fucking sun and it's peeling off.
And this dude happened
because
to come
it's
across
dry.
it.
You could tell that it was a fucking dead fucking body that had been sitting there for fucking days, weeks, maybe, in the baking sun.
Decaying.
And they're like, what would just rip the face off of a cow like that? I don't know, the fucking sun?
It got bit in a certain area, and then the rest of it just started to fucking decay, and that's what it does. This is going to sit out there in the hot sun and do it. And clearly the guy who found it didn't know what the fuck he was looking at.
No idea. And that's their most evidence that they have, because they were talking about UFOs, and Skinwalker Ranch was the big thing there, especially because they got another fucking movie coming out. And the only evidence they have is mutilated animals, so-called mutilated animals. Now, according to George Knapp, it's by prankster aliens. Yeah. They're mischievous aliens. They're here to play pranks on us.
Damn aliens.
They just pick random people in the middle of nowhere and they just play pranks. They're like, we're going to kill your cows today. You know, one day he's like, one day they're telling me that the cows got locked in a thing. But we all know Skinwalker Ranch is bullshit, okay? Both Jeremy and George sat there and said, oh yeah, there's a history there on this ranch and stuff. All the previous owners are going to attest to it and stuff like that. But no, if you ask the previous owners, every single previous owners are like, no, we never had any of these issues. Nothing happened at all.
But you also can tell that Joe Rogan had a conversation with these guys ahead of time about his filming his own show, Joe Questions Everything, whatever the fuck it was, when they actually went to Skinwalker Ranch. And his opinion of Skinwalker Ranch is not good. And you can see where George kind of steps in and says something to kind of tailor him from, like, oh, you got bad information or you got some bad something to keep him from saying anything, which then, of course, Joe doesn't engage because he's pushing that bullshit. He doesn't engage it at all. He kind of just steps away from it because he knows he's not about, at that point, he's about to shut them down about Skinwalker Ranch because he doesn't believe any of that shit. Because they have no fucking evidence. Bob Bigelow owns this place for how many years? He has nibs or whatever else fucking going to this place. These real scientists who do all this research, and all they have is some cattle mutilation pictures. There's nothing else.
Nothing.
Nothing. Literally nothing.
Oh, a camera broke.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Camera got knocked over and broke.
The invisible animal thing, creature, interdimensional, big demon foot, whatever the fuck it was, leprechaun, climbed the pole and damaged it, but you don't see it. You don't see it get damaged either, but something happened. And then the camera was damaged. But the other camera that was watching the camera, the guy didn't see it.
George got a tape of this somewhere. He just doesn't know where. And according to, you know, I mean, I don't know how big George Knapp's house is, but it must be huge and it must be full of all kinds of shit. Because Jeremy Corbel has been looking for this for almost a decade. For this tape.
No, that's not the one he's looking for. He's looking for the other one about the test. That was the test.
Oh, that was the other one.
Oh,
yeah.
That's the one. But
that's the other one. Okay, I got a little confused.
He found the small clip of it though.
Yeah.
At Bob's house that Bob had between the Golden Girls episodes. There was that 5-second clip or whatever of them bending.
Right. So that clip he's been looking for close to a decade. So how big is George Knapp's house, and how many videotapes are in this house that he can't find?
The man might have had a lot of porn back in the day. You don't know.
Maybe they recorded all those encounters at fucking
the brothel,
at the brothel,
the real Skinwalker,
the real Skinwalker Ranch,
Skin Brothel Ranch and shit,
owned by Bob Lazar.
Yeah. And they act like George didn't know anybody. They didn't cook all this shit up together. And
I know they sit there and like the debunkers out there want to say all this stuff. No, this is facts and evidence. You can see the court transcripts and stuff. You can literally go online and get the court transcripts from the trial when Bob was on trial for owning a brothel. Oh, and George timed him out for that too. George Knapp sold his fucking friend out.
Sold him down the river.
This guy's got a brothel. You want to go and raid him?
He doesn't mention that, though, on the Rogan interview. He does say that Bob had some problems, but he doesn't mention the brothel, of course.
He doesn't mention how... He mentions how they like to go out because they're friends and blow stuff out in the desert, but he says they did that after the first interview with Bob Lazar in 1989. But the video of them blowing stuff up in the desert is from 1985. And George Knapp on Joe Rogan claims that he didn't know of Joe Rogan Bob Lazar until just before the interview he did in 1989, June of 1989. So a few months before that, John Lear let him know about Bob Lazar and everything, and that's when he first got to start talking to Bob Lazar, and it's like, we got to get your story, we got to do all this stuff. Lo and behold, there's videotape of a story that George Knapp did himself of Bob Lazar and John Lear and him and everybody out in the desert from 1985 from the Las Vegas News. But that's the debunkers putting stuff out there. They went back in time. They borrowed the time machine from Marty and Doc. And they went back in time to 1985, held a gun to George Knapp's head and said, go out into the desert and blow some shit up and have a big party with these guys and do a story about it. Right. It totally sounds fucking legit, plausible. I believe it 100%.
Yeah. John Lear cooked all that shit up. He had a little bit of information about the stealth bomber because he was a fucking pilot and ran in certain circles and knew a bunch of fucking military guys he flew with.
That's it. That's the only thing that he's ever got right and he knew about.
And that started the whole fucking thing from there. And they sat there and cooked up a fucking story. And I think, is Bob Bigelow the fourth person that was hanging out with them then too? Because it was four people.
No. It was that was a different guy. It was real estate. I can't forget who it was. It was a real estate guy. I think his name was George too, though.
Yeah, I just don't remember his name.
I don't remember it either, but I have it on the video. I have it posted up and stuff. All right, yeah, exactly. Michael Adams. It's like everything, just basically follow the money and ask who benefits. Who benefits in this? George Knapp, Jeremy Corbel, because of course he just kept out and having to say, "It's in my movie. It's in my movie."
Yeah, it's in the movie. You can watch one of the movies.
Good
You know,
night.
I got these movies. You know these movies, Joe. You know you've watched them. You're sitting here fucking pandering to them.
Yeah, it's your movie, and you're on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan's, can we see that? And then Jeremy's like, it's in my movie. You can't show a clip of your movie to Joe Rogan? Joe would have been like, we won't show the clip. Can I see the clip? No, it's in my movie, Joe. Even you got to pay for it, Joe.
Thank you, babe, for your donation. Peace and love.
Oh,
to
peace
you.
and love to you, babe. Thank you very much.
Gotta send you a shirt. Gotta send me DM me your address. We'll send you a shirt. But yeah, I watched that fucking vid. That's these fucking guys.
And the whole time, they say they have no evidence. There's no evidence. There's nothing. All this years and 20 years. They keep saying that fucking, what is it called? What is it?
Oh yeah, we said we would definitely go to Skinwalker Ranch. We would welcome.
Oh, we
it.
would, but Bigelow won't allow it. They
but
won't
let
allow
us
it.
actually investigate it properly, like real cameras.
Bass.
Real fucking
They keep
equipment.
saying Bass is a government funded thing. No, Bass had a deal, and they were actually getting stuff from the government, and they were paying the government for it. They were leasing some kind of equipment from NASA. Bass never got funding. I looked it up. I followed the money. Bass funds itself. Bigelow's fucking got a whole bunch of money and stuff. Fucking Bigelow Aerospace fucking Industries or whatever the fuck it is. The full name. And it's not funded by the government at all. Bass has nothing to do with it. It's all private funding from Bigelow. He started up Bass himself with $20 million. Government didn't give him shit. And at something that with some of the Bigelow industry, because he got a lot of shit, he has something where he was doing some work and they were using some type of equipment from NASA that NASA leases out to a whole bunch of people. So people say, oh, they're funded by the government and shit.
And Nibs was funded by Nibs or whatever the fuck it is was funded by Bob Bigelow. That was just all his.
Yeah, that
money.
was his thing too.
Got
That's
a bunch
another
of smart
Bigelow
people
funded
together.
thing. That was another thing where Bigelow just got people together. The government had nothing to do with that. The government didn't say, oh yeah, here's some money, get all these people together and let us know what you find. Government's never investigated Skinwalker Ranch. Government can give a fuck less about Skinwalker Ranch. They know it's a bunch of bullshit. I mean, it couldn't fucking be any more bullshit than...
No, but according to Corbel, all the neighbors and people around, everything got stories, and that the owners, they all have had fucking crazy stories. Everybody got a crazy story. But yet, didn't Bob Bigelow give up on the place, though?
Mm-hmm.
Because he couldn't find anything that was
Nothing,
worth
they didn't have anything,
nothing.
and...
Yeah, Skunk Freaky, you go there, there won't be shit. You can spend a week there, you can spend a month, you can spend a year. And if it is shit, most likely it's like most people say the shit that they're over there fucking around with.
They've been there for
drones
20
all
years,
kinds
and
of
all they
crazy
got is
shit.
some pictures of some mutilated cattle.
And yeah, a couple of mutilated cows that anybody, just because they say it was done, oh, alien, like what the fucking alien is going to do? The way that it's not even like it's precision cuts and crazy looking stuff. It's this weird looking shit that looked like they fucking took some time to do. And says, oh, I walked away for a half hour and this is what happened. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're like Autopops. They're freeze pops, Alfie. Yeah, Michael Adams, there is a lot of security at the actual ranch. The whole thing, barbed wire fence and stuff, fucking cameras and everything. Bigelow put all that stuff so nobody else could go there and investigate and mess anything up. But it's not Area 51 security. That's for damn sure. And there was a whole security team and stuff on it, and if you tried to go through the fence, they'd show up, you know what I mean? But, yeah, it wasn't anything compared to Area 51 and stuff. Yeah, and that's what it would be like if there was portals and stuff there. Fucking... with trickster aliens. That's my... Fucking George Knapp just kept saying, these aliens, they love to come and they love to play pranks on people. They love to joke around.
Yeah, in the house, they took, like, she took her groceries and she put her groceries away, and she turned her back for a minute, and all the groceries were back in the bag. Them are some serious smart aliens. They came across the universe to do shit like that. They got here, however, whatever, these interdimensional beings or whatever that are so smart and tricksters.
And the trickster alien that normally mutilates the bulls decided one day to take these brand new prize bulls they had just purchased, 2,000 pounds each, and they put them back in the trailer after they unloaded them.
In the trailer, son. All of them. And
All
the
of
trailer
them.
was locked.
And locked it.
They don't know how these aliens did that.
How? And Joe's just like, oh, whoa. But you don't have no video of that?
Oh no,
nothing?
because remember what he said that
No.
those two, that owner during that 20-month period or whatever, was an investigator. So they would have never, because they're not investigators. They don't have cameras.
So we just have their stories.
They don't have anything though. They have no way. They would not be fucking. They didn't have any way to take anything.
But I will give it to Joe. He did keep on asking for evidence, and he did say people's experiences can't. You know what I mean? I will give him that. But he didn't. I mean, yeah, Dan Aykroyd's fucking stories are a whole bunch of fucking bullshit. Okay, but the way that Joe Rogan treated him when he was on the show was just completely fucking disrespectful, because you should be treating all these people the same way. Yep. The same way that he treated, String 'em Along was fucking being really weird anyway when he was on the Rogan show, but the way that Rogan treated him as well is the same thing. Like, you know what I mean? None of these people have evidence for anything that you're saying. You're picking and choosing which one you want to believe.
And the one he wants to, he's
and none of them have any evidence.
It's Bob. I don't know what the dinner they had the night before. I don't know what Bob put.
I'm telling you, it's Netflix. It's Netflix. They're both on Netflix. The Netflix is like, here, it's the Lazar thing. It's doing all right, but Joe, get him on your show. Talk about his movie. Yeah. And Joe's like, I do kind of like Bob Lazar's story and everything. All right, I guess because, I got contracts talks are coming up and everything, because he's about to do, I think he's about to finish up his last special is going to be coming out again or whatever for Netflix or something. Going to have to do something besides this fucking, if he wants to do comedy, he's just not going to do podcasts for fucking Spotify for the rest of his life. He's going to want to have some kind of comedy deal and shit and be putting his fucking comedy specials out.
We shall see.
That's what I'm saying. When Netflix is involved, it's not like anything else. And I know Joe likes to be like, well, if I don't like the fucking advertisers, I don't have them advertising. And on Spotify, I could still do and say whatever I want and everything like that. But there's something there, because both of these episodes, the Bob Lazar one with Jeremy Corbel and then this one with Jeremy and fucking George Knapp, are tied to Netflix. And when that happens, Joe fanboys the fuck out. And everybody goes and watches the Netflix fucking movies and documentaries and shit.
What is it above? Is that above Majestic? No, that's not his shit, right? What the fuck is his? I know I wanted the Bob Lazar thing, but I don't know what else.
Yeah, but the other one, I don't know if it's out yet or whatever or not. I don't know if I forget if it's out or if he said he's still working on it. But it's about the Skinwalker Ranch and all this shit.
And then I know Cambion was talking the other day, he's coming out with one talking about the fucking deathbed confession bullshit CIA guy and shit. Hey, he says
We had Redbox. That's what we had.
Redbox?
No, well, we had Redbox, but Netflix originally was you could go and rent DVDs like a Redbox thing, yeah. And then Netflix went into online and downloading and all that shit, and Redbox just took over that DVD thing. They still have Redbox.
Yeah, they were.
Still some.
Yeah, they're still there. I still see them.
Blockbuster. Holy shit, I can't think
I think there's one Blockbuster left in the country.
No, I'm pretty sure it closed. We did the story where that last one and finally closed.
Did it close because of the pandemic?
No, even before that, just nobody rents videos anymore. It's kind of hard to stay alive when there's just like one old dude who's got a VCR still in town coming down.
Man, you don't have Casablanca. Damn you!
Well, we had to order a new copy. You watched it so much, sir.
You broke the tape.
Broke the tape.
They don't make it on VHS anymore. We're looking on eBay, sir, but it may take some time.
We're going to have to increase your membership fee. Quite a lot, sir.
Do you remember they used to charge you if you didn't rewind a fucking tape? But they'd have a rewinder right there. It's like, but all you're going to do is fucking charge me for that shit. Put it in there, push it down, press the button. It's going to fucking rewind it anyways. What the fuck are you charging me for? Like, the motherfuckers were milking dime you. Anything. Just anything they could fucking get out of you.
They charge you just to rewind it?
Exactly. Be kind. Rewind. Didn't they even have a movie like that? I think there was a movie called that shit too. But seriously, they charge you for everything. I worked in a video store for a minute. That was the coolest shit though. Just watch fucking movies all day. Whatever the fuck
Well, when I was
wanna
a
watch.
kid, that's why I seen all the movies that I saw, like that most kids shouldn't see at that age and stuff. And I just knew, I'm like, it's just movies, you know what I mean? Because my aunt and they had like her and her best friend, they had like a video store and stuff, and we were there at the video store all the time, always taking home movies and stuff, or watching movies in the back room and everything like that. That's how we got all the video games before everybody else and shit. Because movie store back then and stuff, they got everything before, you know, just like nowadays stores and everything, they get everything before regular people could get it. So before movies, you could go and rent the movie or rent the video game, we could get it. So it's cool. So I saw all these fucking crazy ass violent fucking horror movies and shit like that when I was like 3, 4, 5 years old and shit. I'm watching Freddy and Jason and fucking slasher films and everything, laughing my ass off. People are like, is this kid alright? It's a fucking movie. Why aren't you laughing? Are you okay?
It's real, yo. Jason was real.
You're scared of this shit and you're asking if I'm okay?
There's somebody right now who's like, don't do that. That's just scary. Oh, back in the day. And then you go pick up the box, and didn't mean the movie was even in because they didn't keep the movie in the box and shit. The struggle. You don't understand the struggle, man. You're laughing. You don't understand the struggle. You don't understand Walkman. There's a whole lot of shit you don't understand, youngin'. Shit, you don't understand beepers. You've never had a beeper. You've never had a two-way pager either. Remember the fucking Motorola two-way pages? You know them fucking things I lost in fights and clubs and shit? Fuck, man. I miss high voltage, though. My man Tom used to hook me up, though. He used to like to come to the club.
At my work for walkie-talkies, we use this thing called like Zillow or something like that, and it reminds me of those push-to-talk phones.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're talking about the Nextels.
Yeah.
Oh, those shits are hilarious.
When it's about to speak out loud, it goes ding, and it like starts speaking out loud whatever they said.
I went to the movies one time with like 20 dudes who worked with me, and they all had Nextels, and I was sitting in the fucking movie just chiming their phones and shit, and people would get mad. And you would do that shit to your friends, like they'd be at work, and you'd just be like, what's up? Yo, stop, I'm at work. Shouldn't have your phone on, bitch. Oh, the good old days.
That happened to me today. I was dropping off a delivery today, and my phone was like in my pocket, and security was like checking in. They're like, security checking in. It was just like super loud in my pocket. I was like,
oh. Shit, my first beeper didn't have a fucking. It didn't have. This is before beepers had silencers. Before you could make it just vibrate. I remember that. You're talking, yeah. These are old school. My first fucking cell phone was in a bag. That fucking battery would still fucking probably be charged now. What year did I get that shit? Like 88, 80,
cell phone was a
87,
brick.
88, some shit like that. Basically, it was like a car phone that you could take everywhere you went in a fucking bag.
Fucking yeah, the bag was a 40-pound battery.
And what they didn't tell you,
He had to put up this antenna. He's like, "Yo, man, can you slide my antenna up, man?"
And what they didn't tell you back then, because they didn't really have cellular plans. This is before cellular plans were around. You just had a fucking cell phone, and there were no cell phone towers. So you had this. If you didn't know and you didn't stay within the area of your fucking cell phone tower, which you're assigned to, man, I got crazy. I remember getting my first cell phone bill. That shit was insane. Oh man, damn, genocide! You didn't get your. My first cell phone was like literally 19. It had to be 1988 or 89. I don't remember which Mustang I had, but yeah, it depends on which car I had. But I definitely had my fucking phone. And people would be like, "Yo, let me make a phone call. You got a cell?" I'm like, "Fuck no! You know how much that shit costs?" So you can say hi to somebody. Fuck you. Unless it was a cute girl. You like, here you go, baby. You can call whoever you want. Yeah, call your mom and tell you're gonna be home late
My
tonight.
first cell phone was that fucking Nokia that they sold 900 billion fucking of to everybody.
My first cellular
Nokia.
motherfucking one.
Everybody had the fucking Nokia. This is like the only thing, and then all of a sudden Nokia disappeared, and there's like 9,000 fucking cell phone company.
Shit, the beepers, that was the first texting and shit. People are talking about texting and shit. That's how people used to text with beepers. If you use certain numbers and looked at a certain way, they were messages and shit. Be like, I love you, 143. Be like, hell, stupid shit. You could just turn the phone. You had to turn the beep upside down.
Well, then they started having where you could fucking, they actually had the words on the beepers and stuff. You could call and you could say
what I'm talking about,
messages and stuff.
Old school shit, son.
But yeah, we used to have all kinds of codes and stuff. Certain codes were meant to be at this place at this time and shit. You know.
My grandpa had one of those things who was a doctor.
Oh, beepers?
There's actually doctors still
Yeah,
use
they
them.
still use them. Absolutely. You just won't find too many actual people who carry them other than that. Unless they work in a building.
Out to dinner and that thing would go off and he'd be like, I need to check.
Oh, hell yeah.
Seriously, you gotta go to work right now? He's like, yep.
He was probably going to his other family. That's how motherfuckers can get away. Yo, text me, because I'm going to dinner with this chick. I don't really know if I want to be with this chick. Like, I got to see how she is that night. So text me about 8:30 so I can be like, either if I'm cool, I won't call you back. But if I want to get out this motherfucking date, I'm going to go fucking to... Oh, that's horrible. Sorry. You call them Pages and Oz? 420-428-911. There you go, Genocide. Oh, man. I know everybody would text you 911, 911 and shit. At some point, some people used like, fuck that. I ain't going to find no fucking payphone and shit to call a motherfucker back.
Like, this is not an emergency. You do not need weed this bad.
Have you ever even used a fucking a payphone? Like outside, like you had to put like, well, it's probably like God knows how much it is now.
I don't think they've ever worked since I've...
Wow, that's funny as shit.
Been old enough to realize what a payphone is.
Where would Superman change now?
I could probably stick some quarters in and use it.
Oh, I haven't seen a phone booth, actual working phone booth, but they all changed to just, the thing hanging on the wall, but the Superman phone booth and shit, I hadn't seen one of them in a long time. But they still have the ones that hang on the wall and stuff. There's just no phones in them.
They're just there. They're like
Verizon went, because it depends on where you were and stuff, but around here, Verizon owned all the phones, and they went and they took, when people stopped using them, they went and they took the phone out, but they would leave everything else there, because they didn't own any of that shit. It was the fucking weirdest shit. So did you see fucking Verizon just ripping old fucking payphones out of the fucking box things and, putting them in their truck and driving down the street to the next one and stuff, leaving the wire, everything just all hanging out off the side of fucking buildings and shit, or some of them were just there in the parking lot on a pole and shit like that, and they just sat there. There's one down the gas station down the street. It's still sitting there where the two fucking payphones used to be. It says Verizon on the side of the thing and everything. They didn't care about any of that shit. They took their pay for whatever reason. I don't know why. They could have just emptied the change out and left the phone there. I mean, the majority of them didn't have fucking actual phone things on them anyway. It was the fucking cord had been ripped out and shit already and stuff.
People used to do nasty things to phones.
Nasty thing to phone booths.
Yeah, places you knew not to fuck with the phone booth. Like, I ain't gonna use that phone there. Then you knew where to go to get a clean phone. Yeah, you can't escape the Matrix now. This is a different time. Oh, man. What'd you say?
Hey, God, you guys are making me feel like I'm fucking like some,
oh, good. You have no idea.
like child.
Yeah, it's just a whole different time.
You even know how to read a map? Like an actual, not GPS, and be like, yeah, okay.
TVs didn't always come with remote controls, right?
I drove to Florida.
You used to be the remote control, right?
Just an atlas, so I know how to read that.
Yeah, I bet you couldn't work a fucking rotary phone.
Hell no. No.
He's like, what do I...
Be like, what? How long do I gotta wait? What?
And they had 7...
I'm only on the first 3 numbers. This is taking too long.
Yeah, keep going, buddy. And don't fuck up either. Don't mess up. Oh, why did you say it was a 3 when you knew it was a 5? God damn, I gotta start all over
You're
again.
gonna hang up and start all over again?
Oh,
just suck trying to call fucking girls and shit.
Fuck that. The phone bills back then, shit. You had to wait.
I know, because the fucking next town over and shit, and the next it was fucking long
they
distance.
Were out of your area code, yep.
It was fucking long distance, like everything was long distance and stuff. So if the girl you liked wasn't in your fucking town, your phone bill was fucking high as a motherfucker. You always trying to get her to call you, but she's like, I can't, my dad's gonna whoop my ass.
You only call families during holidays. Your family's in another state. You're like, hey, let me see the grandma. Hey, grandma, how you doing? It's good. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. I love you too. Okay, goodbye. Click. Gotta go.
Used to do the collect call messaging thing.
Yeah.
Call somebody collect, and you instead of the
come
name,
at the park.
Yep. Pick me up at the park down the street.
I'm at Mark's house. Come get me. And
Yeah,
prank,
they used to have 411 just to call and get the time and shit.
yeah, you used to call
People we're like, shit, am I supposed to be home? Where's the payphone? And you pick up the payphone, and you could call the operator, but then they kind of started getting mad when you called the operator. They were like, call 411 for information.
Yeah.
You guys showed me the weather one still works.
Oh, does it?
Weather number, yeah.
Does it?
That's
Yeah,
funny.
I remember you guys showed me.
Yeah, you could call, get the weather, get the time, shit. You could call people and fucking crank phone call them. That used to be the funniest shit, man. Because you get people who would just indulge you. So you can just have fun for hours. Just go through the phone booth, just picking numbers. Party lines, oh Lord.
The what?
Shit, party lines before chat rooms.
Oh yeah,
Party
before
lines
like
was a
chat
thing,
rooms
yeah.
and fucking
And then AOL had started those little chat rooms and shit and everything. They had all those fucking
Reddit threads and stuff before all that shit.
Yeah, that was after my time. Shit. Things have changed. I know we got completely away from what we were talking about. No, I don't even know how we got here, but it's just funny. The age gap is incredible. The age gap, when you think about it, is funny as shit. Just how different things can be. 20 years, 30 years, and then fucking, wait, how old are you? 23. So yeah, I got, what, 27 years on you? A lot has changed, my friend. A lot has changed. But you know what hasn't changed? Bullshit Bob Lazar's fucking 31-year fucking story that's fucking...
Oh no, it has changed. The bullshit part hasn't, but his story
that's right,
changed.
yeah.
They like to stay Jeremy, and
But
they're
he's
like, his
older.
story never changes, and he's no matter what, he's always stayed true. And no, his story's changed, and his drawings of the UFOs have changed. If you look at official drawings of the UFOs that Bob Lazar has seen, you can Google these pictures, and you can see them and stuff. And what he draws and he says they look like now, it's not the same thing. Story changes all the time.
But he can't remember everything from back then. I mean, that was, 40 years ago. How's he supposed to remember all that type of stuff, man? And he's changed. He's matured. He's an older man now. Things are different. It's not the same Bob. Come on, man. You heard what he said, Jeremy.
He's the same Bob, telling the same fucking bullshit.
What I don't get about the whole Jeremy Corbel character, though, is because he keeps stressing to the thing that he's a filmmaker, he's a filmmaker, he's a filmmaker. What the fuck was he doing on the show, then?
The fuck you always there?
Right, it's like
and that's why I said it's because of Netflix. It's his films that George Knapp is in and Bob Lazar is in, and they're on Netflix, and he's part of Netflix, and Joe Rogan got a deal with Netflix, $40 million to do 4 fucking comedy specials, and that's the reason why. And I'm pretty sure Joe's done 3, number 4's coming up, and he's gonna want to make another big, huge, killing fucking deal. You know what I mean? So wouldn't you be like, Netflix is like, hey, yeah, Jeremy's, it's doing all right, but hey, why don't you give him a little bump? You like talking about this stuff, right, Joe? And Joe's like, well, and Netflix is like, hey, you got a contract coming up, right?
And I'm waiting for him to be like,
and
well,
Joe's
Joe,
like, sure, no problem. Hey, Bob, how you doing? I love your work, man. Oh,
go
my
investigate
God.
with them. You would think that Rogan, because he had the show, he's really interested, then go investigate
Go
some shit with
investigate
these
this shit with
motherfuckers.
him. Go see it.
Go see some of this shit firsthand, Joe. Come on, man.
I'd love to talk to Joe Rogan. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what it's saying.
Yeah.
He does, he picks and chooses who he wants to, even though they're all bullshit.
And that's the thing. Over the years, he has stressed about the fact, because he was legitimately investigating this stuff with his show and everything. Bigfoot, cryptozoology, ufology, everything. Like, he was legitimately out there investigating. That was the show's purpose. Its main purpose was to try to find out if this shit was real. He said it's what turned him off to all this, but something about sitting down and having dinner with being told about Bob Lazar's story by one of his friends that he really should go talk to Bob. And he had dinner with Bob and had him on the show the next day and shit. And Bob, this is where we're at. He thinks Bob Lazar is fucking legit.
Now here, it's like 6 months later, maybe a little longer, maybe 9 months later, Jeremy's got a new movie coming out on Netflix and stuff, and here's Jeremy and George Knapp this time, Bob Lazar's friend and cohort.
They'd have John Lear on there if he was probably mobile. He'd be up in the shit too. But yeah, John's not really mobile like he was back
Yeah,
then.
Joe Rogan doesn't question everything.
No, he was just saying that was the name of the show.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. But he does. He did question, but he still, even when they're like, "No, we don't got nothing. I just got." Jeremy's like, "Here, check out this." Puts out his cell phone and stuff. He's like, "Yeah, look at this picture I took of a dead fucking cow on my way up to fucking this place to investigate this thing. Look, why would you rip the face off?"
Yeah.
Fuck. Fuck.
All that investigation.
I'm just a movie maker, man. But look at that. That looks surgical precision. What do you think, man?
Hey, the other stuff is in his films. He kept saying, "It's in my film.
It's in my film.
It's in my film. It's in the film."
Interview with this guy and an interview with that guy. No, where's the real deal evidence? Where's the fucking actual footage of fucking UFOs? Undeniable, not a blurry ass stupid fucking video that fucking is not a fucking UFO, and it's using an actual fucking some type of propulsion system that you can identify, and you're not just making up fucking shit that you don't understand and saying it's using anti-gravity propulsion systems to do all these crazy maneuvers and stuff. You mean like leave gravity, go up into space? It's not gonna go like this, and it's not gonna go. You know what I mean? I mean, it would make more sense if they were like, it's a quantum fucking mechanic propulsion system or something like that. You know what I mean? Something, but the anti-gravity. Just look up what anti-gravity is and what you can do with anti-gravity and what it would be possible for in these types of situations. It's not, it would just be, because some places have some real crazy, I mean, look how crazy it is to leave the gravity of Earth, for what they got to put fucking rockets, how much fuel and shit, how much force it takes to fucking break through the gravity of Earth. Anti-gravity would be great for that. Boom, and then we use all that fuel up and we get up into space, you know what I mean? Use an anti-gravity thing and we get up into space, because once you're up in space, it's like zero gravity, like no gravity, it's like... little fucking tiny little bit. You get near some big bodies, you got some gravity, you can bounce off of it and shit like that. But with an anti-gravity machine, now you could use all that fuel in space and it would take you further away because you're not fighting gravity and shit like that. That's how anti-gravity would work. It wouldn't be a fucking machine that's a thing that's making itself flip over and over like this and doing all these crazy maneuvers and stuff like that. I'm like, you mean the pixelation because it's a blurry ass fucking black and white video? That it's doing cartwheels from anti-gravity moves that no other thing could ever do. But yet when I watch a black and white video of a plane flying like that on some grainy ass video, it looks just like it. But we know it's a plane.
And it's flare, like, I mean, you can use flare for ghost hunting, most people do, and stuff like that. You don't know how it works. And to point out the fact, too, that what they also keep telling is that these cameras are mounted below the planes. So they're catching everything below them. Wouldn't it be something incredible above them going off into space that they would get videos?
Oh, no, because George Knapp's like, oh, no, was it George or was it... I forget which one was like, because it was down near the water, it was going to come in contact with a USO.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
I was like, oh, geez, that...
Yeah.
And where's your evidence for that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He had it all figured out.
No, that's why if you watch it and stuff, that one's most likely a bird. I believe if the video, I'm trying to remember and stuff, because when they show it on Joe Rogan, it's just a little thing in the small corner, and no matter.
But what bird is that big that the weapon system, which wasn't the weapon?
Oh no,
system
the weapon system will lock on to all kinds of shit. That's what they try and say, but that weapon system can lock onto a fucking person carrying a fucking AK-47 down the street. You know what I mean? Or they've locked on to little kids with AK-47s, which is a lot smaller than a big person. They can lock on to small little targets. They can tell, oh, that's somebody with an AK-47.
That's not what Jeremy Corbel said.
So, oh, exactly, because Jeremy Corbel is such a smart guy. He's telling us that these fucking things are using anti-gravity to fucking maneuver this way. Yeah, I'm going to believe everything that guy says after he makes a statement like that. Now, if it was a video of something rapidly fucking just on the surface of the earth and just shooting the fuck straight up faster than anything can go, any rocket, anything that we have can break the fucking, and out into space, boom, breaks that gravity. I mean, because we got some drones, you can put that thing on the ground and hit the up button and that thing's boom, it's up there. You're like, holy, where the fuck did it go? Damn, I only barely hit the button, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that shit is gone. Them things will fly fast as a fuck. That's why I'm saying a lot of this shit is drones. But if you had a video of that, and it was something, they're locked out, look at it, it's on the ground and it's flying, and all of a sudden, it's just totally, boom, broke gravity, then I'd be like, yeah, all right, maybe plausible that thing's using an anti-gravity device. It just went outside of gravity. But when you're still within the gravity, you can't, the force of gravity is pushing down. It's not pushing side to side like they just don't understand fucking physics and shit. It's like, and then they were like, well, your science isn't real, man. It's paid by the man.
It's Soros funded.
Yeah, George Soros funded that. Illuminati funded science you're into, man. I make my own science up. And I say that, yeah, it's gravity is everywhere and it's just using gravity. It's just bouncing off the gravity. Okay, cool, dude. Right. I believe everything you're saying right now.
I don't believe shit he's saying. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's just regurgitating other people's.
I don't know how this
stories.
dude can operate a fucking camera to get these people to fucking be in documentaries. Anti-fucking gravity devices.
Well, when you got a bunch of people lying, I think it's easy. And he enjoying the lie. Because like he said, he started, his original purpose was debunk all that. He wanted to debunk it. He sought out Knapp and sought out fucking Lazar and everything and debunked the stories. But everywhere he's looked, Bob's been right about everything.
Oh, yeah, Bob's always right about everything. Yeah, I love another thing. The military likes, and the government and the Illuminati and these people, they like playing pranks on people and stuff, too. They're pranksters, too, according to George Knapp, as they played a lot of pranks on Bob Lazar when he came on his show and did the story in 1989. All of a sudden, people were keying and slashing his tires. In Las Vegas! In 1989! Oh, my God, what a fucking shocking fucking thing! Oh, my, wow! They're out to get him!
But don't forget,
he must have been the only person to have their tires slashed in their car.
Remember, the people who contacted Knapp, too, the first 6 people or whatever, they all got visited, too. Remember, they were all getting visited. All of them. I remember him telling that. Everybody gets visited, huh?
Uh-huh.
But they still keep telling the stories.
But they still, and they don't have any, he has no evidence. He doesn't have any of their names, doesn't have any of that stuff. He doesn't have nothing. Nothing. Just his stories of other people's stories.
And then didn't he say that him and fucking Bob Lazar, Knapp was talking about him and Lazar took a tour of one of those places and they just walked through and had no
and
problem.
Everybody, which is complete, no, and if you watch what happens and stuff, they take the tour that, like, you can go to Los Alamos and you can tour some of the stuff and everything. You know, like a lot of these places, you can go and have a little tour of the place and stuff, check out what this company's doing and shit. Obviously, it's Los Alamos. They're like, nope, you can't go here. Nope, you can't go here. And that's what happened when you watch this video. I'll try and find it and put the stuff up and everything. It's out of mind, might already have it. But there's the video and you can see it, and then George will be like, well, that's not the whole thing. That's the edited version we had to put up and stuff like that. And the people are waving to Bob because Bob's waving to them. And they're not like, hey, Bob, how you doing? How's the wife and kid? You know what I mean? They just see somebody waving at them, so they're like, hey.
Where you been? You haven't been here in a while, man.
Yeah, none of that. It's none of that. You know what I mean? And so that's how bad these people are entrenched and how mentally fucking the mental health condition of these people. They believe their own lies that much, okay? This guy was literally there with a film crew filming this tour of Bob doing this and sees this happening right with his eyes, but he makes up this whole fucking story and everything. Still. Actually on video. It goes back to the thing where he says, oh, the first time I ever talked to Bob was a few months before he came on to do the interview in June of 1989, which is bullshit because there's video of him doing a story about Bob Lazar and John Lear and stuff and the other fucking real estate dude, and that's when he got involved with it, when George Knapp started like, well, fuck, I want to come out and hang out in the desert and blow some shit up with you guys. So he got involved and he did a little story on him, so he's like, yeah, check me out, dude, I'm in the news and stuff. You guys, I'll do a story on you. Let me come to your party, come on. You know, because George was, George like Bob's brothel and everything. And that's what happened. And George Knapp sits there and literally denies this. Denies that he knew Bob Lazar. He says that's just a conspiracy theory debunking people trying to fucking say they debunked this. They're trolls and everything like that to fucking, you know what I mean, to make it look like the story's not true. Yeah, like I said, they took a fucking DeLorean. They went back in time, 1985, and made George Knapp do this video, and he doesn't remember fucking doing it.
Hello, McFly.
Oh, it's because that was in an alternate universe, and then they made that universe with this universe using Looking Glass, dude. Look it up, man. Research.
And Athlete Salmons, if you go back and look at that video, and I don't even know if that video is still around, with supposedly Lear and Lazar and them out, was it Espo, wherever
No, that's
it. Was it group, wherever the fuck they
Papoose
were.
Lake. It's at Papoose.
Keep in mind that Lazar was really good at blowing shit up and playing with pyrotechnics and stuff like that.
And
Flares,
doing lights and
all kinds of
playing
shit,
with
right.
all kinds of stuff like this, okay? He knew it was going to happen where it was going to happen because he knew somebody was over at the other side going to do it. It's the same setup as what they do at fucking Esetti Ranch now. It's the same thing. They take somebody up on the high hill of this fucking side of the fucking ranch and stuff like that. Well, there's somebody else on the other side of the fucking, across the valley on the other side and up on the hill over there doing their little tricks and shit like that. They've been caught. It's happened. They've been busted, and that's exactly what fucking. And there's no record of them being arrested when it happened because they said the third night or whatever. Bob and George and John went out to see this thing happen, and I forgot who else was there. Some lady, something else like that. Supposedly they got arrested for being there and everything like that, and held and everything, and that's why they didn't have any more video and all this stuff. And it's only this one little video they got, but there's no record of that. There's no record of George Knapp ever being arrested or any of that. Lots of records of Bob Lazar being arrested for some stuff. Lots of stuff Bob Lazar's been in trouble for. Lot of actual verifiable evidence to those things.
Yeah.
Bob liked the ladies.
He was a ladies
He's
man.
a ladies man. And he liked to blow shit up.
Mm-hmm.
He liked to see how high. He liked to see how high he could blow shit up. Like to do all kinds of shit, build all kinds of crazy stuff. Yes, Bob built the car, and the fucking newspaper there did an article about that. But it's not uncommon for people to build jet cars and stuff like that. It was cool because it was a thing in the town, so they needed something to fill the fucking newspaper with or whatever. It's not a big fucking deal newspaper and everything like that. It wasn't a huge. If it was a big deal, it would have been everywhere. Fuck, people break fucking records, and we're doing it long before Bob Lazar built the fucking jet car out at Groom Lake all the time. It's how they break land speed records with jet cars and jet bikes.
Especially in the desert.
Which is way more crazier than a jet car. It's because it's got two wheels with a jet strapped to it. Like Bob Lazar came up with this fucking totally original idea.
He was brilliant.
Whoa, oh my god. He took a tiny little jet engine. He was just fucking rolling around fucking town in it and shit, dude.
Hey, he made that thing, remember? The UV light thing for...
oh yeah, it's so hard to make a UV light. You get a UV light bulb, you put it in a fucking thing, and you're like, wow, I fucking made a UV scanner. That's what he did for George Knapp. George Knapp was worried he's going to get the coronavirus. His friend Bob was like, oh, I think I got that in my garage. He probably had one of those fly things out in his garage with a UV light already in it and shit. He's like, oh, shit, let me just send him this thing. Hey, I whipped this up for you real quick. Bob and his nuclear...
But he made a laser.
Nuclear United...
But he made a laser.
...company, which is always in trouble for fucking doing illegal fucking shit and selling fucking bad shit to bad people. Always in trouble with fucking ATF and the FBI and stuff. That's why during the fucking thing they were raided. It's not because fucking a conversation that they had out in the fucking field that they were secretly heard and they came and raided him because he had a cell phone on him. Mm-hmm. No, it's because he was already being investigated. The warrant had already been signed long before you were even ever going to be going there. You just happened to show up the day before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, believe in coincidences, man. Fuck! I'm Jeremy Corbel. I'm just a filmmaker.
It's in my film.
It's in my film.
It's in my film.
That's the evidence in my film.
It's in my film.
Out on Netflix today, where you'll be able to see Joe Rogans' new special soon.
And probably the most important video that George Knapp could ever own, or even on VHS, would be him actually seeing Bob Lazar take that Element 115 and supposedly do this bend of light test, and he had the video But he doesn't know what happened.
I don't know where it is. I have it somewhere. It's in somewhere. I just don't know where. And Jeremy's over there like, yeah, I've been looking at that thing for almost a decade now. I mean, you wouldn't believe how much stuff he has in his house.
I transferred all of it on.
I got a big house. I mean, a fucking 2-family house, fucking basement, attic and shit. Even if you pack this thing wall to wall with just fucking walkways enough to wiggle, get around in between each room, okay? It wouldn't take 10 fucking years to go through all that. No, maybe. I mean, it took you time, maybe a couple months or so. I know, because when I moved into this house, this entire basement where you see us sitting and stuff was literally like that. This my grandfather-in-law was a fucking bargain hunter and a hoarder. And this shit, literally, to the ceiling, wall to wall, except for a path coming down the stairs to get to the washer, get to the dryer, get over to that one little room in case you wanted to reach in. Because when you open the door, my grow room, when you open that door, that's it. You open the door and if whatever you wanted, if it was right there, cool, you could take it out. And if it wasn't, you had to dig through to the back to wherever the fuck it was in that room. The whole thing was like that. And I cleaned it out in probably like a week. Got a dumpster, cleaned out the majority of it in like a fucking week. So you're telling me Jeremy Corbel had been looking in almost a decade that he's known and been hanging around with George Knapp now, going through his house looking for this, and he's put all these other things on to fucking, you know what I mean? He's taken it off VHS, he's updated it for George, but he still can't find this one piece of evidence that they actually need. The one real deal fucking thing, which I would love to see, and I guarantee it's not what they say it is, and because it's a video from 1980 fucking whenever, they'd be like, well, you just can't tell and stuff. You see the element 115 there. It's probably like Bob holding a fucking marble or something like that. He's fucking got a fucking light, like UV light to a fucking glow-in-the-dark marble and shit with a swirl pattern so it makes a little fucking weird thing on. They're like, look at it. It's 115 in the light. Yeah,
he built at his house.
It's too bad 115 gone. Like nanoseconds. The life of it is fuck. He could never contain it.
Yeah, he got it in the hockey puck thingy.
Yeah, I know, but yeah,
And that was a particle accelerator he has at his house. Wasn't marbles or anything. That's what he used it in. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the only way that you can make element 115 is to have it, to get it, and then to actually you can, if you have a particle accelerator, you can keep it stored and keep it going in the particle accelerator, those particles right there like that. But once you move it away from that, the decay rate of it is like nanoseconds, dude. It's like boom, gone. And anytime they made it and they discovered it, and then they've used it a few times to make some other elements above it and stuff, and that's how they did it, but. It's nothing that could be usable really for anything at this point in time except for make those higher elements that we have no use for of anything that you can't really do anything. 115. And they think that he's a genius and he knew all this stuff and everything because they didn't actually synthesize it and make element 115 until 2013 or something, 2003. I forget what year.
2013.
3 or 13 or something like that. But we've known there's higher number elements before. We just weren't able to do that. And there was an actual article in a science magazine that Bob probably would have read, but the rest of the world didn't read back in the day, that actually had several articles talking about these numbers and these elements and stuff and how, they're going about hopefully to one day be able to synthetically, synthesize these elements and make them real and everything like that. And Bob, being the fucking geek that he is and everything, read those articles. So that's where he came up with this stuff and everything, and that's how he came up with all this stuff. And he says it's used for anti-gravity. Right. But he can't explain it. And he didn't do any anti-gravity tricks with his fucking element 115. He did a light trick. He shined a light on it. That's what he did with it.
He bent the light.
Yeah, he bent the light.
Well, that's what George Knapp said, because he got there at the end of the fucking...
Whatever bending the light means, I mean, you can bend light with fucking... They do it with lasers and mirrors and stuff, and it's not hard to bend light. You don't need element 115 to bend light. Yes, element 420 is real, and I am about to smoke it. I have proof of this. I can show you. Here. Look at the small, tiny particles in my hands.
I know, Brad Gray, he can...
Seriously, that's like... That's way more evidence than fucking Bob Lazar, George Knapp, and fucking Jeremy Corbel fucking ever could come up with. Element 420 exists. Look, it's right here in my hand. 4K video for you all to see.
That's not real. That's not real. That's fake, yo. They won't believe you. They won't believe it's real. They haven't smoked it themselves.
Alright, we'll test it for him and let them know.
I know, and Brad Gray, yeah, when Bob Lazar was on there, the convenient headache and stuff and migraine. I've had migraines my whole life. I've had my fucking brain explode and shit like that. It's like, okay.
Can mark this as research.
But he has fucking Corbel there, again, to fucking bail everything out. Corbel had the answer for everything.
It's in my movie. He could tell George was getting old, too, because he had to do with the talking points with George. He'd be like, oh, yeah, and then this and this, and then tell him about it. Tell him about that story you're telling me about, George. Remember about those guys you were talking to and the things that they were saying? You know, yeah, tell George, tell Joe about that one, George. George's like, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, so I remember this.
Mm-hmm. And he'll just keep having Corbel and them on fucking Coast to Coast AM when he's over there fucking doing his part over there. Another one of those voices. They got the voice. Yeah, you're right, Alfie Simmons. I damn sure had my mind blown. Literally. Bees like that sometime. But it's just a bunch of bullshit. I just don't get how that's like the hill that Joe Rogan would die on when it comes to all this. Is fucking Bob Lazar's story. Like, and it seems like with Jamie there, Jamie knows how to look
when he knows, and he's been to Skinwalker Ranch, and he knows that it's fucking what they're saying is bullshit. I mean, everything else that Joe Rogan found out on that show is bullshit, except for now he's going to go back on and be like, yeah, I believe George Knapp and Jeremy Corbel and my Netflix money. What's up, bitches? Netflix money.
But he doesn't actually say that he believes either of them, other than when it comes to their testimony for Bob Lazar.
The way he treats them and everything like that, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? He believes Bob Lazar. He doesn't come out and say that he believes him, but the way that he goes about it, talking with him and stuff, he's not doing it and treating them the way that he would treat others that we've seen him do, that talk about the same exact thing, that have the same amount of evidence, which is none, as these people have. Dan Aykroyd, Tom Stringham along. Who else has he done it? He's done it to a bunch of people. Even people that aren't like, you know, they just bring some of that stuff up, and that's when he's be like, well, yeah, well, no, I know I did that stuff on my show, and, you know, it's none of that stuff's real. But then here comes fucking George Knapp and Jeremy Corbel from Netflix.
Real,
and he's like, oh, wait a minute, let me, I might take a second look at this Skinwalker Ranch thing, even though I actually went there, and I was there investigating this shit. Spent some time, and I know that it was bullshit. He was there with the people from Bass and everything. Like, the only way you could go there, and George, I mean, when they did that TV show and stuff there, was Bigelow had to allow them on the ranch. So how could he been shown some bogus stuff by the people who control and own the ranch? This is the words that George Knapp said to him. Because at first Joe was like, yeah, but Skinwalker, and then George Knapp said, well, yeah, we know that you're how you feel about Skinwalker Ranch, but we know that was all bogus, how you got bogus information and stuff, you know. And I'm like, but wait, and then they go on to say how Bass has been controlling it for 20 years. I'm like, well, that show was in the last 20 years. Bass was controlling it. Bass was like, yeah, sure, I need some money right now. Yeah.
Nibs wasn't the other one too? Yeah, Nibs or whatever.
Yeah.
Nips.
Well, but Bigelow actually owned it, so he would have to be the one to say, yes, you can come on this property and investigate, and you can do this show with Joe Rogan. And they did it, and they found out it was all bullshit. But now Knapp is like, yeah, well, no, that wasn't the case and everything. You got some bunk information there. And
you were there during the downtime.
Yeah, you know, I mean, he was trying to, you know, not downplay it and just not make it seem as you know, as real as it is. But I got the real deal story for you now.
Mm-hmm. Bullshit. Joe has said he realized that through doing podcasts, they need to be an entertaining listen, so he tries to keep the guests talking and moving things along, so it's not entirely just a conversation. Yeah, I mean, you can let him talk all you. That's the thing. Like I said again, too. Joe was engaged. The only time Joe really was engaged and enthusiastic was when they were talking about Lazar. The rest of it, he definitely questioned. Was like, okay, whatever you want to say about Skinwalker Ranch, these cattle mutilations, I guess. Like
But he's still on the Bob Lazar thing, and he's still, you know, but the thing is, yeah, he questioned them, but he didn't treat them like they're fucking crazy, like he treated Tom DeLonge and
those is Bob's peoples, yo.
Dan Aykroyd and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. That's where he is. I know that Joe tries to just, you know, listen and keep the thing going and everything like that, but you can tell that he's taking a side with this thing. Whereas they're saying the same thing that Tom DeLonge said, basically. Different UFO sighting or whatever, different things. Both of them have no evidence. Both of them have been completely fucking torn apart and destroyed and everything. Except by idiots like this who still believe it. And Joe is a complete fucking dickhead to Tom DeLonge. Whereas he was all like, yeah, oh, that's all your evidence you got? All right, yeah, so what else you got? Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh, wow. Yeah, that's cool. So we're going to go get some steaks after this, guys? We're going to go get something to eat and everything like that? You know what I mean?
He gets milk.
But he was complete fucking, like, when Dan Aykroyd's talking and stuff, and he's talking about the stories, and Joe's like, well, yeah, no, I did that on my show, and I know that's all, yeah, that one's not real, Dan, and he was just a real fucking, you know what I mean, asshole to Dan about it and shit. Whereas the only exchange was that first thing when they were like Skinwalker Ranch, and Joe's like, yeah, Skinwalker Ranch, and then George was all like, no, that was the bogus information you got when you were there doing the TV show. They were just putting that on for you, just putting on a little thing for you. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. So that's why I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's going to give him more of a bump. I'll put it to you like this. I bet you going on Joe Rogan definitely gave Lazar and Corbel more of a bump than that fucking New York Times article is going to do for
disclosure
TTSA,
or anything.
For TTSA, because that's what
for anything. About. That's what I'm saying. The bump that happens when when Bob Lazar went on there last time and when they're going on this time is good enough that's good enough in that, you know what I mean? That's what they're trying to do. That's what it's all about. And that's why you could see, like I said, Joe, you did question him, but he wasn't a fucking dickhead to him and stuff like that because they work for Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
They're fellow
Netflixians,
employees, co-workers.
Just give us a leg up. Bullshit that story.
And Netflix don't like when the co-workers don't get along.
Well, Knapp's got a million stories now too, though, Brad Gray. I mean, just his association.
Oh, I mean,
coast to coast
he's talking about he's smuggling fucking documents out of Russia in his fucking ass or something like that. I'm like, what, dude? What? Where are these documents, dude? And he doesn't have none of that, nothing. He's like, oh, I got these documents from Russian spies and stuff like that, proving UFOs are real and stuff. Well, where is it? Joe didn't even ask, did you have that or anything? No, he just let him keep telling his story. Didn't even stop to question that. And he was like, yeah, I smuggled these documents. He'd be like, I'd still be locked up in the gulag if they caught me. No, they probably would have killed you, George. Right then and there. Is this Russia we're talking about? Have you ever actually been there, George?
Niet. It sounded good. If you don't know the truth, it sounds good. That's what I mean. It sounded like a really cool conversation, and that they got their point across, which is just bullshit, and a bunch of fucking lies. No one catches on to the shaving cream trick. I'm sure they have caught on to that trick at this point, Alfie Salmons. I'm sure it's been used a lot, especially over the years, because fucking smuggling drugs, those motherfuckers have done all kinds of shit, and even they get caught. All the crazy shit they think about doing. From ears of corn, that's fucking drugs, everything. I've seen all kinds of shit that they show you they fucking have got, so even that one gets old, and I'm sure people get caught with that too. Maybe not you, just doesn't mean that other people don't. Everybody's not going to get away with the same trick. It gets old. And shit, they probably know that trick too. You'd be surprised how many people fucking work in those things that are checking your machines who fucking have been out there and used to have that fucking thing to hide their weed and everything and shit. Know what I mean? Just saying. Bob 808 8008. Bob Boob. Oh, I get it. Yeah, Bob Lazar, whatever. Jeremy
Bob
Corbel,
Lazar is a
George
boob.
Knapp. It's all fucking comedy. It's comedy. I mean, it's just, it's science fiction. You know, you like it to be true, but it's just, and I know that they try to cast it as, I know that Bob doesn't seem like the guy, but that's the guy they chose because of this, because, you know, they needed someone who thinks outside the box and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it all sounds great. And now he doesn't know if he saw an alien. Maybe it wasn't an alien. You know, maybe because he only saw it for like, you know, half a millisecond or whatever it was that he just over the years wanted it.
They could have been putting it there to trick him.
Yeah, because they did make him drink some kind of crazy goo and stuff first before he went in. So
Yeah, some green stuff.
they could have been mind fucking him.
Could have been, you know.
Okay, dude. Right. I believe you. Yeah, makes sense, Shane.
I'm a believer.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I can fly.
Yeah. And I believe that Bob Lazar saw aliens at S4 or whatever, and yeah, he worked down there, and he worked on anti-gravity, and yeah, somebody sent him some 151 and a hockey puck, and he's got it, and he can bend light with it, and yeah, okay. And after 30 years, the story hasn't changed, but it has changed a little because he's older, and he's much more mature, Bob Lazar. He's not the same Bob Lazar. He's not the same boy we encountered all those many years ago, telling tall tales of spacecraft that looked like bells and everything. There were 9 spacecraft that he encountered, and possibly an alien. No, he's matured past that. So it wasn't an alien, y'all. I mean, really. But whatever, people believe that shit. And apparently your boy Joe Rogan does. All these years of listening to Joe, I'm just like, I don't even get it. Like, if of all the hills to die on, the Bob Lazar guy is the guy who, that's the hill you would choose to die on. I guess. Money talks, right? That Netflix money, son. Mm-hmm. Makes sense. That's where he wants to go. And then having Corbel smug ass on there. Oh, I'm just a filmmaker. It's in my film. It's in my film. Just go look. It's in my film. All the evidence is in my film. There's no evidence in your films either.
Yep.
Same bullshit. He acted surprised to see that there were clips of his stuff, that people are taking his clips and fucking put it on the internet. Like, oh, you found that? Oh, that's out there? Yeah, dude, it's not all just in your films. People take the shit out of your films because they either fucking want to question it or they're fucking all about it. But whatever. I wonder how many more times he's going to be on there. Who's going to be on there next with?
Like his film, again, he didn't find or do anything like it when he's shocked about people, stuff about Bob Lazar and stuff like that. He's like, how'd they know about that? That's for my, I was doing that for my film and everything. Like, dude, it's Bob Lazar. It's the same fucking shit that he's been saying for 30 fucking years. You know what I mean? It's like you're not uncovering anything new. It's not anything new. Other people have heard Bob Lazar's story. Other people know about the fucking third fucking Close Encounters of the Third Kind hand scan fucking bullshit that you use. Well, from your favorite movie. Remember, Jeremy? Your favorite movie. No wonder why you know all about the hand scanner. Because it was Bob's favorite movie. That's why he knows about the hand scanner.
I remember seeing that movie, so I know about the hand scanner. And that movie still comes on, so you can still see the hand scanner.
Yeah, the most secretest fucking military fucking base in the world. Most technologically advanced fucking secretive fucking military base in the world. 1987 is using 1971 technology to access the building. Right. Like the fucking Russians hadn't already fucking hacked past that fucking bullshit and were able to get through and would have already taken over fucking Area 51 and S4 and shit. I mean,
weren't they there working with them too, though? Didn't they have all kinds of different? I'm trying to remember. Wasn't that the story? There was different kinds of fucking military people.
Yeah,
there
there's people all across the world or something.
Yeah,
whatever, yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows if the Russians were there?
Yeah. Who knows if they were there? But they were there. Everybody was there. It was a big old party. The aliens, yeah, they did karaoke for them. That's how they communicated. They only communicated through songs. So everything was karaoke. The story is just as crazy now as it was back then, but now you can just do more research. He forgets when he told that story, the internet wasn't around, or it was around.
It was around, but it
people
wasn't like
weren't-
this,
yeah.
and people couldn't just, you know what I mean? And a lot of the stuff he's talking about, you couldn't just go to a library and easily look this stuff up unless you knew what you were looking for and everything, and you knew, you know what I mean? And it sounds like, you know, Bob is a smart guy. He does know some stuff. He does have a company where he does, you know, Nuclear United is an actual legit company, and he has to get licensing and stuff to carry some of the shit that he has that he shouldn't have, and he probably is going to lose those licenses and everything. That's why he came back out to do this thing, because all the FBI, ATF investigations and shit. And for them to be like, oh, they're just fucking with Bob and everything like that, you know what I mean? It's just the FBI, you know what I mean? Because they don't want him to talk about it. The ATF would not get involved. The ATF would not give a fuck about UFOs unless those UFOs were selling firearms, tobacco, or alcohol.
Well, maybe they are. Maybe that's where the guns and stuff are really coming from. We've never thought about space. We always talk about, you know, cross borders and everything. Planes, trains, automobiles, people, boats, everything, right? Submersibles. We've never thought about UFOs. Maybe they're the real drug dealers. Maybe that's what it is. They're bringing it from someplace else. You've just uncovered some new shit. It's all bullshit. Same old bullshit. It's not changed. Well, it has changed a little bit now. Remember, he said he may not have saw an alien there. So, why after all these years, even if that's what you thought, you'd want to change the story? Doesn't make sense to me, but okay. He says it makes him seem, I guess, like Jeremy said, he's more mature. He's learned a lot. I'll tell you what he hasn't learned to do. Stop telling that bullshit ass story.
Alien corp dust.
You mean DMT? I like the alien corpse dust. It's good for you. Alien corpse dust will not hurt you. Did anybody watch that interview? And because of what they say, feel more inclined to believe Bob Lazar's story? I'm just wondering. I didn't believe it when he told it on there, and I damn sure don't believe when these other two clowns talk about it.
I wouldn't believe it if the dude was sitting right here in fucking front of me telling me the story right now.
Listen, I saw Jeremy Corbel, what was it?
With his
International
puppeteer and
UFO
fucking
Congress.
Corbel next to him.
Dude, he walks in a room like a celebrity. People just all want to talk to him and take pictures and stuff. Then he got an award when he was there for Filmmaker of the Year or something at International UFO Congress. I'm like, okay. If he's Filmmaker of the Year, yeah. Woof. I wonder who lost to him. Like, who are the other filmmakers? Yeah, he's become a rock star. That's what I mean. He's got his own little role in this. He went from a filmmaker to a fucking, you know, fucking celebrity.
That's what he wants. All
Yeah.
the money. See where they're going. See who wants that. That's the attention.
Right, because remember, Bob's not in it for the money. Bob's never really made any money off of this.
No,
That's not
except
what
for
he
all
wanted.
these checks that he's been cashing for years and years. The dude literally used to take the fucking interview fucking of him saying it and make VHS copies and send them to people around the world for $30, $29.99. Now, I know when VHS in 1989 and stuff, and it was a little newer and still, and you couldn't just go to Walmart and get fucking 20 VHS tapes for $10. You know what I mean? It might have been like 10 VHS tapes for $10, whatever. But still, he was paying no more than $2 a blank VHS tape, and he's selling them for $29.99.
Plus shipping and handling.
Plus shipping and handling. Because back then, there definitely wasn't no free shipping.
Dude.
And he didn't ever want to make a dime off of it.
Mhm.
He was making no money. He used to fucking he wouldn't go, and he used to speak at all kinds of conferences and stuff like that. He's actually been in trouble for fucking doing no-shows. Getting paid and then not showing up.
Yeah, you can make a living if you're telling the truth about
But
some
Joe
shit.
Rogan believes him. Even though he has no goddamn evidence. He's never shown Joe Rogan anything. But I just believe every word that man says. He's just such a nice guy. And he's so smart and articulate. Wow. You know who else is smart and articulate? Preachers. Con men. Snake oil salesmen.
And grifter. We can name a whole bunch of people like that. True Seekers. What's up, Stephen Cameron? It says he also got huge money from Tester Model Corp for the Area 51 flying saucer model. Yeah, but according to him and according to Jeremy Corbel, he's not made any money. That's not been his thing. CW is a great storyteller. Yeah, I mean, but you could be a great storyteller, but do you believe the stories that everyone's telling? That's the thing. They're stories. Bob Lazar, it's a story. You think Bob Lazar is a great storyteller? Is Jeremy Corbell a great storyteller? Is George Knapp a great storyteller? Or they're just all telling the same story? Bob Lazar.
A lot of people tell a good story, but a good story isn't the truth. That's the problem with it. And people go on and they think that a story is the truth. That's why people are like, well, it says it in the Bible. It says it in this fairy tale storybook that I read that giants is real. Square cube law. Checkmate. That's all I got to say. No, that's it. Square cube law. Do the math. But the Bible, my books, my storybooks.
It's a $10K speaking fee for the big anniversary UFO conversation. Exactly. But he doesn't make any money, remember. And these guys aren't even good storytellers. That's the thing about it. Again, it sounds great. Sometimes you listen on YouTube or whatever, but when you go and see these people speak live and their body language and what they're talking about, you're just sitting there with your fucking eyes crossed like, what the fuck are these people even talking about? It doesn't even make sense.
That's what I'm saying. But like the words that come out of their mouths as they're saying, I'm like, is somebody like mistyping in the background there or something? In his brain, the person typing out the words, they fucking up. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Especially when they're talking about how these crafts fly around. And he's talking about he's like, yeah, I was talking to the Air Force fucking guy or whatever. He's like, so I had to get my Air Force, I had to talk like I know Air Force stuff and everything like that. Yet he didn't say one goddamn correct fucking flight term or anything like that or anything about flying when he was talking about it. It's like it's doing acrobatic flips and stuff and turning around like a tic-tac and anti-gravity this. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? He wasn't like he was banking to the left and doing barrel rolls or anything that a fucking pilot would say or anybody in the Air Force, anything that knows anything about fucking flying says. It's like it's doing somersaults and cartwheels.
He's a filmmaker.
Bouncing off anti-gravity walls.
He's a filmmaker.
This is just what they tell me. I'm a filmmaker. It's real. I believe them. I put it in my films.
It's all in his films.
I don't know shit about fucking physics or gravity or how any of this stuff works, but I put it in my films. It's in my film. Don't forget. Fuck, it's in my film, everybody.
Yeah. You saw the film,
Fuck,
Joe.
it's in my film, right?
Yeah, and every other word was fuck. Fuck, fuck, bitty, fuck, fuck, fuck. He was fucking a lot that day. He felt real fucking confident.
I mean, I know I say fuck a lot, but I mean, everything he's like, fuck. I mean, fuck.
Fucking, it's
fuck,
fucking,
remember that shit? Fuck, that was crazy. It's in my film. Fuck.
It's in my fucking film. My fuckity fucking film.
The Tic Tac appears to be refreshing the air around us.
Well, that's what it's doing. Yeah, it's giving us fresh air. There you go.
Yes, that's what the aliens are here to do. Some of them are here to play pranks on us. The other ones are here to freshen the air around us.
They all have agendas.
They all got their own agenda. That's why there's so many different aliens coming to Earth here.
Yeah, be careful with your groceries. You might put them away and find them.
Okay, the other thing that was funny about this, fucking Joe Rogan. This just reminds me about all these aliens coming to Earth and stuff. Joe Rogan opens up this thing and how they're like, oh, conspiracy theorists, and they talk these crazy things about moon bases and Mars and all this stuff. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You're crazy and everything. But yet, when George Knapp and Bob Lazar and stuff talk about aliens coming here, and it was mostly George Knapp on this one, but he said, him and Bob talked about some of this stuff too. But aliens coming here and seeding life and making us out to be the human beings that we are and giving us technology and everything like that. All these different aliens coming in and messing with us and stuff like that. Joe was all aboard. He's like, yeah, that's totally plausible. He's like, yeah, I believe that stuff could happen. I mean, there's no way that when you think rationally that couldn't be possible. Yeah, when you really think rationally and you look at all the evidence that we have before us, it's fucking impossible, Joe. That's one of the dumbest things you've ever fucking said. And you say a lot of dumb shit as being a fucking comedian.
Maybe that's what it is, Alfie. It's all like the fucking it's graffiti and shit and everything. Exactly. But I doubt it. They don't want to come here. What aliens would want to come here? We suck.
Yeah, Joe's like, yeah, if they abducted one person a week, like, nobody would ever know. There's 300 million people in this country. I'm like, dude, are you fucking hearing the words that are coming out of your mouth right now, Joe? What the fuck did you smoke before these two came out and fucking sat down here? You know, and they got this anti-gravity technology and we can't see them and they just come here and they suck somebody up. Yeah, I believe it. That's why all these people. They don't know. Well, dude, yeah, because you know all about psychology, huh, Joe? Because you fucking do a podcast and you're a fucking comedian.
And a commentator.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even fun to listen to.
But when he actually fucking talks to fucking psychologists and stuff, fucking he listens to them and what they say and shit like that about these people, and he's had people on there and talk about how people that fucking believe this shit are fucking crazy. They're irrational. That's why they first thing, okay? If there's evidence of any of this stuff at all, wouldn't the first thing that you do in any situation, whether it's you going on a podcast, you're on fucking social media or on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or something, and wouldn't you want to put that evidence, boom, right there, pair Joe Rogan, boom. Or if somebody makes a post or something and you see it and you're like, nope, that's not true. Wouldn't it be the first thing you do to prove that it's not true is be like, boom, here, no, this is why that's not true. Here's all the studies and the evidence that's fucking 100% verifiable. You can't fucking beat this. Boom, real deal fucking truth. Be the thing that you do. But no, these people are so irrational and so fucking bent up and so fucking, you know what I mean, gotta be right all the time and stuff because they were fucking bullied in high school or whatever the fuck is wrong with them and why they're fucking acting this way because they think they got this fucking secret information nobody's got, so they're better than everybody else. They start talking a bunch of bullshit. Like, oh yeah, fucking look at you, you don't know what you're talking about, yeah, fucking gotta vote for Biden and shit. I'm not even talking about politics right now. What are you talking about, you fucking clown?
You damn left wing.
Like, where the fuck does this come from? We're talking about fucking like I had that. Some dude fucking was talking about giants and stuff. So I was like, oh yeah, here you go. And this other dude chimes in and starts being like, oh, this guy's gonna vote for Biden. And I'm like, what? Like,
I'm like, you're not trusting the plan.
I'm like, dude, where are you? I'm like, no, this is conversation about giants. They're not real. He's like, yeah, giants are real, and you're gonna vote for Biden. I'm like, no, giants can't be real. Like, look at this fucking Biden vote. I'm like, it's just fucking crazy, and they can't. They just start. They go right to they never just. What I do in at first a lot of times, like I did in that conversation where this fucking idiot calls himself a scientist, and he's like, look at this giant finger was found in a fucking museum and shit, and it proves giants are real. And I'm like, dude, you should put pseudo before your name. Pseudo-scientists. You know what I mean? I said because this right here, and I put the facts as to why he's believing in some pseudoscience. And I put the square cube law and everything about it. But no, and everybody on the fucking thing like, no, giants are real. It says it in the book of Enoch and the fucking have Nephilims. And I'm like, oh my God. Do you know what 2 plus 2 is? You know what 2 plus 2 is squared. Now times that by fucking any number. Do you know what happens then?
It equals Biden.
Then we'll get the mass involved. That's just the area. Okay, people? As the area increases, the mass fucking increases greatly. It's not possible.
But it was the aliens, though, because remember the aliens and then the...
My favorite shit with the fucking giant fucking stories, too, is the giants built all the megalithic structures. The giants built the pyramids. The giants built Machu Picchu. The giants built fucking all this shit. For little people? Where did the giants live, though? I want to know if all the fucking houses that the giants built for us little tiny humans are still here, why aren't the giant houses still here? Because the majority of all these megalithic...
They lived in spaceships?
The majority of every megalithic fucking site is for people that are way smaller than we are our average size now. Like in the pyramids, you walk in through tunnels like this. You crouch down and stuff like that. There's some areas where you go in and it's a big open area, but to get into these things, you're walking in little tiny fucking tunnels and shit like that. So giants made these things?
Yeah.
For...
They were playing Jenga.
Who?
That was their game.
And where are the giant houses if they're things that they made for the... I mean, were the giants our slaves? Like, slave, giant, build me a house. Or were the giants just really nice giants? They're like, oh, look at these poor little things. They don't know what to do. Let's build them some houses with rocks. We love stacking rocks. We're giants.
That's what the games they played. They didn't have the internet back then. They worked with what they had. You know, we used to play with sticks. You know, throw rocks.
And I'm thinking completely rational. I mean, that's fucking rational thoughts. Like seriously, if the houses and the fucking structures they built for the little people are still here, where are the giant houses? And where are the giant bones? Oh, they threw them in the ocean and they're hiding in the museums. Mm-hmm.
You say so? Anybody? Maybe they were what? Subterranean giants? They hid very well, I guess, in the middle of the earth or whatever. Maybe they had spaceships. Maybe they all lived in spaceships. And then when they left in their spaceships. Because the bones that they find are easily explainable. They're dinosaur bones and shit that people are just taking pictures of and misrepresenting them. That are easily explained.
You know, a good documentary, too, normally, they got teaser clips and shit, right? You don't even have no teaser clip or anything. It's in my movie. You got to go watch the whole thing. I'm not even going to show you. And then the teaser's usually got a good piece of information about the movie or the documentary and stuff. It's a documentary. It usually shows us we got some solid evidence here in this fucking documentary. Look at this shit we got. Watch the rest because you're not going to believe it. You know what I mean? It's like the Tiger King. Yeah, look it. We got this guy. He's got a zoo and he got arrested. And then you watch it and you're like, holy fuck. You know, they lure you in with that first little bit of truth. This guy's got a zoo and he got arrested for trying to kill this lady. And then you hear the whole story and you see everything else about the guy and you're like, yeah, wow. But Jeremy's just like, yeah, watch my movie. He's not even like, yeah, look at this little smidge. I'll give you a little taste.
It was a time.
I'll give you a little taste. Look we got on camera, night vision, this fucking alien, big giant alien beast just out there mauling a fucking cattle. Just slicing them up. He took out his scalpel and he was just this big alien slicing them up and eating them like he's fucking Hannibal Lecter.
With a nice
we got that right there. And that's not all, folks. We have even more. Okay, and if you want to see the rest of that stuff, you'll have to watch the movie. But he doesn't even have that. Don't even have a preview or anything. No, nothing out there doing no press or whatever and talking to anybody about this stuff. Nope, you gotta watch my movie. I don't got nothing to show you. It's in my movie. Nothing. No, you can't see any of it. You gotta go watch the whole thing. Can't see no little.
Movie,
not even a 10-second clip. Nothing. Not even like the opening credits. Nothing.
He's a filmmaker. He makes films.
Fuck, even the Avengers gave away some shit in their fucking things, and they kept that shit on, you know what I mean? You can kind of, you know.
But it's in this movie. How many people have actually seen this movie?
I don't know, because Netflix don't release numbers like that and stuff. You can only tell if it makes it up how high on the lists and stuff, and I don't think it's been that high up on lists.
I don't even think Joe Rogan can push him over the top, huh? Interesting.
No, I'm sure it gets more views after they go on there and stuff like that. It probably goes, but it's not enough even then still, because the majority of the people just listening to on Joe Rogan's thing are going to be like, yeah, I don't even need to watch that because I can tell that there's not a goddamn shred of evidence in anything that these people are involved with. You know, but then there's probably the people like, I gotta watch this fucking shit. I gotta see this. And they watch it just to get the laughs, you know what I mean? And then there's probably the people that are like, Joe, like, oh my god, I bought fucking lasagna, Joe Knapp, holy shit. On a movie by Joe Rogans, Corbel, oh my god, I can't believe it. Tell me more, guys. Really? You got any other evidence? Oh my god, I can't believe. Oh, Jamie, you got a clip? Oh my god. Jeremy, you can go type that one in if you want. I won't get weirded out like I did when Tom was here. That was kind of weird though. That was a little weird. I mean, Tom did do some weird stuff there, but the way that Joe was, you know, Joe for being one that says he doesn't take sides and stuff, he takes sides. And it's clear to see in these fucking things like this that he's clearly taken a side. With no evidence, again, zero evidence, nothing. Just the words. Now, the Skinwalker Ranch, he kept on questioning. He's like, you just got stories from other people? That's it? What other evidence you got? Whatever, you know what I mean? But all you have with Bob is a story from a guy that you like. He's a nice guy. He's smart. That's all you got. That's it. There's nothing there. I love how they tried to explain how he was going to MIT while he was here, too. And it was part of some kind of secret project and stuff.
Right. So that's kind of how they were able to bury him, you know, because...
But there's there's no records of any of this at all. And MIT's involved with a lot of secret projects, but it's known that the secret projects are going on. But there's no record of this secret project going on. Not even that it was going on, but you couldn't know what it was. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit going on at MIT. You know what's going on, but you can't know what's going on. You know what I mean? They do all kinds of experiments and all kinds of shit. And they know, okay, we're going to be using our plasma fucking reactors and shit right now today and everything. But can't fill you in on the details. But everybody's going to be safe. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to be safe.
Don't worry about it, friend. Don't worry about it. Hey, Billy went there too, remember? For a couple days. You got a certificate. So, didn't you go to MIT? I've been to MIT too. Yeah.
I just drove by there the other day.
Mm-hmm. I would have been there.
I have
So
too.
I dated a girl went to MIT.
Been all over fucking MIT.
So we went to MIT too, yo. Okay. We were there when Bob Lazar was there, in fact. Working on the same fucking program.
It's top secret, though. Can't tell you what it was.
Yeah, we can't, you know. Because we're smart, too. And they were thinking outside the
But that
box.
right there shows that Bob's story changed, because Bob's original story was that he went to Caltech and he went to MIT. But he said that he was going to both at the same time. And they try to say, well, he's doing a secret program but Caltech and MIT didn't ever do a top secret fucking program like that.
But it was super secret. It was G16 classified, so they weren't going to tell you they were doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh. Yeah, see, there's no record of him going to Caltech either. Or MIT. He went to like some other fucking, I forgot the school.
Yeah, because even the professor he named...
Is Steve Cambion will remember the fucking, the college he went to. Somebody out here I know watching and knows the Bob Lazar story, where he actually got his fucking degree from. It's a small little thing. Nothing. No Caltech. He couldn't get accepted to Caltech. He couldn't get accepted. Definitely wasn't getting accepted to fucking MIT. They didn't explain, George didn't try to explain his fucking SAT scores or anything like that. And why he could never get into these things, because his SAT scores are fucking shit, and his fucking high school grades and everything were not good enough to get him into any fucking prominent fucking college or university at all. Yeah, he was the first student of University of Phoenix online. Because I think they started in like 89, but no, he would have already had his degree by 89. I forget when University of Phoenix came online. They haven't been around that long. Only like 20, 30, maybe 40 years.
Steve Cambion said it was Pierce Junior College.
Yeah, that's it. There we go. Can't remember all them small colleges.
It wasn't the actual professor that he named. Isn't that where the professor knew him from, too? Was that particular college? Because he named some professor he was trying to say, I believe, was at MIT or one of the Caltech professors he worked under, but the professor ended up being at that, I think, that particular college or some other fucking college where he knew him from.
And the funniest shit about all this is there's so much documentation, and they sit there and lie, and they say, yeah, these guys make up all this stuff. And it's like, no, this stuff is actual stuff, like freedom of information requests and stuff like that. Freedom of information requests are only real when you do them for your UFO research now, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But everybody else is a bullshit? Exactly. Wasn't Caltech involved in there too? I thought he was supposed to have a degree from like Caltech and MIT, but he only actually has a thing from fucking Pierce Junior College. If I remember, that's the way I think. And I even have it probably. I'm not going to look for it now and stuff. I have a whole Bob Lazar file on my fucking phone. I had a whole shitload of stuff about Bob.
What about Bob?
I even got the videos of him and George Knapp out in the desert fucking...
Look, I'm sailing.
George doing the fucking story. It's George Knapp doing the story about this. Guy in the desert named Bob Lazar blowing shit up and shooting off guns, having a party. His buddy John Lear and the fucking real estate dude. What the fuck was his name? Can never forget that guy. I don't even know how. He probably because he was getting fucking George some good houses to fucking have brothels out of and shit. I don't know.
Yeah, thank you, Campion. I knew it was something to that effect. Yeah, he just was fucking lying all around. But no, they got rid of his records. You know, they cleared everything. You know, because yeah, that's what they're gonna do to a guy like that. They knew they could do that to discredit him.
Yeah, well, they were out there slashing his tires to distract him from changing his fucking college fucking.
Hey, but Jeremy Corbel said he had some fucking guy who remembered him from the Janet's flights, whatever they called him. That remembered seeing him on the tarmac. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Again, it's just some guy's story. Dude, if you had a picture of Bob Lazar on the tarmac getting onto the Janet flight or a video, then cool, I might believe your story. But a fucking baggage handler on the tarmac at fucking the Las Vegas airport, supposedly, and you can't see the people boarding the fucking that airplane. They board in a hangar. The Janet airline boards in a fucking hangar. The people come in on buses and whatever, and it goes to this fucking hangar out in the back. I've been to Las Vegas a bunch of times and shit. I know where the hangar is and stuff. And they board in the hangar, and you can't see anybody getting on it. You just see the plane taking off and landing. There's videos of the plane taking off and landing. Coming out of the hangar, we will never see people getting on the thing. So how did some fucking guy working on the tarmac see fucking Bob Lazar getting on the plane? He's on the tarmac. Bob Lazar's getting on a plane inside a fucking closed hangar. After he got off a bus, supposedly. I don't know.
Hey.
Who you gonna believe? Well, Bob Lazar is such a nice guy, and he's smart. He made George Knapp here a UV scanner.
He made Jeremy Corbel a laser gun with a toy, man.
Yeah, he turned my toy gun into a laser that lights stuff on fire.
His wife
Wow, do you
hates
know
it.
how fucking easy it is to make a laser that will light stuff on fire?
He made him a torch. His wife hates it, though. Okay? She doesn't want it in the house.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, my wife hates that thing, though.
Yeah, Bob's so smart. He's just such a smart guy. Got a particle accelerator in his crib, yo. That's how he gets down. You know what I'm saying?
You know. Driving around in his jet car with fueled by one element 115. I'm Bob Lazar. I'm Bobby Lazar.
It's bending light as soon as it goes by. And then he hits the flux capacitor and boom, he's gone.
What about Bob?
What about Bob? Look, I'm sailing.
That's his...
Basically, that's about what it is. The funny thing again is if you follow John Lear, like he's just so, he just moves and all this shit, and he's just putting all his life out there, but he ain't really talking about all this shit, these guys anymore. Occasionally he'll pick up something and talk about it, but it's really more about his personal life, because he's been through some shit lately. So it's weird to watch, but yeah, he's
Yeah,
far
because
moved
John
on.
Lear, he's the one. He told me all about Bob Lazar. Let me get to talk to this guy, Bob Lazar. I don't know nothing about this S4 because nobody knew about S4 at the time.
But if you look up, people knew about S4. Back then, people was talking about Area 50. People been talking about Area 51
But
since
do you
Area
know how
50.
many movies and
Since
stuff have been
Area
written because
51
of
has
Bob?
been Area 51, son.
Hey.
Damn. It's kind of hard to build a big, huge, top secret military fucking base in the middle of the fucking desert without anybody knowing it's there. Just ask all these fucking military fucking people in the world that try and build military bases in the middle of the fucking desert and shit.
Hey, you know, without Bob Lazar,
Or in the
there'd be
middle
no
of the
Independence
snow.
Day,
Or the
man.
middle of anywhere. Military bases are massive. They're kind of hard to hide. Oh, they got the dumbs, man. The dumbs. You know what a dumb is? Yeah, you. You stupid fuck.
Deep underground military bases. They're everywhere. And don't forget, there's like the highways and underworld that connect everything. from
Yeah,
here
it's
to-
just like that movie, you know, that movie where they're fucking on Mars and they're mining stuff. Total Recall, yeah.
Yeah. I saw that movie. The new one or the old one? Because the new one's different. Like they're mining, but they like had come to the earth and stuff. Like
Yeah, they changed it up because the original one gave away too much. They're trying to, you know, you can't really see that one that much anymore.
Right.
They told too much occult knowledge in that movie.
Like Star Wars, the documentary. They Live, the documentary. All these documentaries, man. But Star Wars is the biggest documentary ever. It's real. That's what Bigfoot is. Bigfoot is Chewbacca.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Hiding on Earth. Chewbacca doesn't want to be seen. That's what it is. Him and his few of his people left because, you know, you saw in the Star Wars thing, their planet get destroyed. So those are the few of them that left, and they're here on Earth, and they're hiding out because they don't want to be seen because they don't want people to kill them. So that's really what it is. It's not really Bigfoot. It's Wookiees. Just so y'all know what you're really looking for because Star Wars is real.
What the fuck was the planet that they was from?
I don't remember.
Kashyyyk or some shit like that.
If you say so.
It's fucking XYX and fucking weird. I forget the fucking how you say it.
I don't remember.
All these made up words fucking by George Lucas and shit.
I remember that Luke Skywalker had to go to the Dagobah system to find Yoda, right?
Dude actually fucking wrote the whole entire language that Jar Jar Binks speaks.
What, gibberish? Jar Jar Binks was just like a black person speaking gibberish. That's really what it came down to. If you really analyze Star Wars, there's some racist shit in there. Because the way they all are represented, you're like, yeah, you know what that is. You know what that's supposed to be. Okay.
But he did actually like these things. He actually writes the languages, full languages for like a lot of these things and stuff.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
nothing new. They did
Yeah,
that for
do
Klingons and
yeah,
shit
they
for
did
Star
with
Trek.
Klingons,
Yeah.
exactly. You know what I
The
mean?
Ferengi, all the
And
different.
that's why
fucking-
people, it's real, man. They got a whole language.
Okay.
Me and my sister had a fucking language we made up when we were kids too.
All kids make up languages and stuff.
My son now
no one's gonna know
fucking
what
made
we're
all
saying.
kinds of noises, and I'm like, what? And he's like, I just told you what I wanted, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Well, no, you can't have that.
I don't care what language you say it in. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. Star Wars is real, man. And I've been waiting all these years for lightsabers because I'm not a Jedi. Is that why I haven't got one? I feel like a Jedi. I feel like I should have one. I don't know.
Yeah, Star Wars is real, man. They knew the Death Star. It's just like that fucking moon on Saturn, man. In Saturn, it's the fucking devil planet, man. It's got fucking the hexagon on the top and everything, and they worship Saturn for Satan, man. That's why George Lucas is a fucking... He's a pedo, man, and he made Star Wars to let us know that aliens are real and shit.
Well, they told him, you know, Paul told him. But they have the alien that they've been keeping all these years that tells them all these secrets. And that's how they write movies. And they let those scripts get out.
And then he got to look at Project Looking Glass, and he saw, and he's like, oh, wow, I can do this. And now Disney just found out, and that's why they're letting him remake the whole... They're making... Those last three Star Wars movies, they no longer exist. They're no longer part of Star Wars canon. They're remaking all of that, and George Lucas is now back involved.
Okay.
You haven't heard, dude?
No.
So yeah, they're redoing the whole fucking fuck up Brian Johnson and fucking what the fuck was the other dude's name there? That fucking did it, and they fucking they're doing the whole thing. George Lucas is gonna help Disney out there and stuff. I'm sure it's gonna cost him a shitload of money. It already cost him $4 billion. $4 billion Disney paid for the rights to Star Wars. They paid. That's what George Lucas got paid for Star Wars.
That's a lot of shekels. Damn. I wish I wrote Star Wars. If I go back in time, I'm writing Star Wars. Jesus. I guess, but it's real. That's why he got $4 billion. When you tell the truth, don't you think you deserve $4 billion? You're letting it all out there. You're putting yourself out there. What David Wilcox is looking for, and Corey Good and them, right? Telling their stories. They want their stories to be worth $4 billion. Wow.
Yeah, Disney buying fucking Corey Good's story. Making a blue chicken movie.
For kids. You're like, this is kids' entertainment.
These people talk about all these fucking, these child predator rings and stuff like that, but then they go and they make comic books about kids getting abducted and stuff and taken into secret military programs and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know that. I mean, that's just a little weird. The whole thing is a little weird.
They have no other Catholic church.
Again, when you look into the background of mental health issues and stuff like that, and people who make up stories like this, and what kind of stories people make up for which type of scenarios may have happened to them when they were younger, and these stories generate and come from. Like, I was abducted when I was younger and taken into a secret military base because I have special powers. There's something else going on there. There's some childhood trauma and stuff that is being suppressed. And the worry and the anxiety and stuff, you can see it in fucking Corey. This is fucking why he does whatever he's on and shit all the fucking time. Whatever he was drinking.
He's changing camera angles now and stuff and everything. Trying to make sure,
he
yeah.
looks like he is all fucked up.
I mean, shit, I lost weight, but yeah, I had surgeries. Had two
Well, like that
surgeries
one
in
we
8
did,
months.
we watched, and him and fucking, what's her fucking, Stacy, they're sitting there, and they're fucking doing their little fucking show with the fucking other fucking dude from that fucking place there.
Oh, James Gilliard? Is that who it was?
Yeah, and James Gilliard, and he was drinking water, but he was also drinking that other drink.
Whatever her drink was, yeah.
Yeah, and he was drinking it way more than she was, and way more than he was drinking his water.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. His color's all off and stuff. You're supposed to be fucking eating healthy up there in the mountain, away from the plasma raining down on people
No,
in the
it was
lowland.
the oxygen in the cave. It was low oxygen in the cave when he was filming it. And because it was low oxygen, it made him look and talk and do what he was doing because there wasn't much oxygen in
He's
the cave.
drinking his fucking chemical-free water coming from the fucking sky that's filled with chemicals. Filling up that, snowing down, filling up that river.
Wait, don't talk about him because according to him, people aren't really talking about him anymore because he scared everybody. Ooh.
Oh yeah, everybody's scared of him. Oh no! But everybody who's involved in that still talks about him.
Basically.
They just... Oh, this stuff is so fucking hilarious. That's what I call it. This stuff is hilarious. You get high and you laugh your ass off. It's fucking hilarious. Just listening to the shit they say.
They make it quite easy to do. They absolutely do.
Well, it was using anti-gravity to do somersaults to evade the camera that knew it was following it. Now, if this thing is so fast that it knows that it can evade the camera that's following it, why didn't it just dip the fuck out in the first place?
Go left, go
Well,
right.
that's because these aliens are pranksters. You gotta understand that about these aliens. They like to play tricks and stuff on us. You know, they like to just let us know they're here, but not let us know we're here. They want us to figure
Dude,
it out
they're
on
playing
our own.
galactic hide and seek. Once you see me, now you don't. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, they didn't bank left, they didn't bank right. They were always in perfect view of the camera.
Yes, this dinosaur shit these people is hilarious.
Just more shit. It's all been shit. Shit.
I'm gonna write a paranormal hood dictionary.
It's gonna speak the shit dictionary. All this shit is in there.
Bunch of shit everywhere.
Bullshit.
Shit.
Dumb shit, stupid shit, made up shit, sci-fi shit, jack shit, you shit,
Fucking shit.
shit.
All kinds of shit. Everywhere shit. All these people
It's a fucking shit.
want to be famous. Fucking have a name. You watch my videos and watch my stuff. I'm speaking the truth. Well, where's the fucking evidence? I don't give a fuck what you're speaking. I want the evidence. Again, we say it all the time. These people, if they actually had this shit, any evidence at all, would be living like rock stars.
Especially when you went on Joe Rogan, it was like, you know what, Joe? Today we're going to do something no one's ever done. We're going to show you some shit. Here's the element 115 in the hockey puck. Bang, bang. Look at it. Just
Bam, here, look it. Boom, look at it. It's bending the light. Here, want to see the anti-gravity? They would do that. Like I was saying earlier, if Jeremy had any evidence, any proof of anything that he's saying about his new Skinwalker Ranch movie that's coming out, he would have shown a little clip. He would have said, here's a little clip, Joe. I'll show you a little clip.
It's a scary ranch. Things go on. Skin
Nothing.
gets walked on.
They don't ever have anything. They'd be rock stars. They could be like, oh, Joe Rogan wants me on his podcast. Well, Joe Rogan got a lot of money now. I want $1 million to be on that podcast.
I'll give you the exclusive, Joe.
And I want green M&Ms only in my dressing room with a pack of fucking Fontos and a fucking jar of the finest dank right there.
Yeah.
Okay?
And a stripper named Trixie, see? Yeah.
And I'm going to show some more evidence. Oprah wants me on her show. Fuck, Oprah got way more money than fucking Joe does. I want fucking $10 million to be on Oprah right now.
And I want Stedman to be my driver for a year.
And when we go on Oprah, she could give Element 151 to everybody.
Yeah.
You get Element 115. You get Element 115.
Titanium.
Everybody gets Element 115. Thank you, Bob Lazar. I love you, Bob Lazar.
Yeah.
No. Doesn't happen. Not happening. Fuck, people would throw money. They'd be like, here, here you go. Take my money. Take my money. Just take it. I don't have to talk to you. Just take it. Nope. Nothing. Billy Carson, I travel all over the world. I got a passport. I go to these places. And you never show us anything that we've never seen before of evidence of anything you talk about.
Your tooth. The pyramid should open up for you when you arrive.
Nothing. Not a
should recognize
goddamn
you.
fucking thing.
Welcome
ever.
home, master.
But he'll say, it's in my book. But wait a minute, Billy. I got your book. And your book got nothing. Goddamn nothing. A whole bunch of cherry-picked, misunderstood, misfucking interpreted articles and things from other people.
It's the pictures.
Some of who also had no clue what the fuck they were talking about, and some knew what they were talking about, but you just didn't understand what the fuck they were saying, and you turned it into your own bullshit. Still no evidence. I don't see shit. Nothing.
But a bunch of shit. There's shit everywhere.
All these fucking light workers and the 144,000. There's so many people that say they light workers, so why hasn't anything special happened yet? Where the fuck is anything happening? Why don't they do something special? No, never. All these people, crystals heal you and fucking all this shit will fucking heal you and stuff. How come they ain't in the fucking hospitals? I'll prove you. I'll show you. Come here. Bam, look at that. I just healed that shit.
And no one's ascended yet, man. They're still fucking here. Like, when are they
It's
going
not
to the
ascension
D?
time. You gotta wait till Ascension time, which is in the next 10 to 20 years.
Oh man, they gotta wait for these motherfuckers to still be around.
You know, until they don't know exactly when. Even though they got Project Looking Glass and they could see all this stuff in the future, they don't know what's happening.
And the aliens tell them everything.
No clue. No clue. I love how they keep on adding stuff to the conspiracy. Nobody predicted this was going to happen. Nobody knew this was going to happen.
Nobody. Oh, we did. We got masked early, remember? Yeah. We knew something was coming. We just couldn't tell everybody.
Exactly, Robin. That's every single picture that fucking of Billy Carson in Egypt or over in fucking Angkor Wat is all the same fucking spots and pictures
touristy shit
that I see if I go on to fucking Google Images and I type in people visiting Egypt. And you'll see him in front of this pyramid, and doing this and doing that. Same thing. All these places, he goes to all the tourist traps. I've even got reviews of people that fucking went on his little Egypt trip. They paid the fucking ridiculous amounts of money to go there and stuff. And they said it's the same stuff that you see everybody, that you're following other tour groups around. And you're seeing the same things that everybody else sees. You don't get anything special except for the little dinner where he talks his bullshit and some dude who says he's a secret fucking priest or something from the fucking Egyptian White Brotherhood of Knights.
The village idiot.
Comes out and talks and everything like that. But you don't get to see any secret shit. Nothing like that. All it comes from is these people during their fucking little dinner party that they have and everything like that. Where these guys, these White Brotherhoods of Knights of Egypt,
got that brother.
The White Brotherhood of Knights of Egypt. And they date back to the Egyptian times. They're original, their families, it's passed on from their priests, the Egyptian priests and stuff, and they protect the sacred knowledge. But they're called the White Brotherhood of Knights.
And Billy's down with them.
Uh-huh. Right. So the Egyptian priests changed their name, or the Egyptian name for this group of the Egyptian priests, or the protectors of knowledge that you say, is the White Brotherhood of Knights. Right. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
They got swords?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ride in on camels and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't come to my fucking pyramids. This is sacred shit.
No, that's Tooth. He can go wherever he wants.
Billy Carson is here. He's going to open the pyramids.
He's Tooth.
You can't see. Tooth is here.
Well, everybody sleep. He goes to the pyramid and does stuff.
They go everywhere but Antarctica. Don't want to take that tour.
Hey, Brad Olsen went there.
Yeah, he's the
only
only one.
Yeah. The rest of these guys is too expensive. They can go any other place in the world, but they ain't going to Antarctica to prove their point.
It's not that it's too expensive, because you can, the same for us to go to Egypt.
No, according to them, it's too expensive. Billy said it's like $500,000 to do that. It's like $500,000, $250,000, some shit. It's a lot of money to go there to prove the truth. They should all put their money together and do the little GoFundMe. Just all of them get on a boat or whatever, or a plane, and take their asses to Antarctica. Linda Moulton Howe, David Wilcox, Emery Smith, Billy Cox, everybody got something to say about fucking Antarctica. Should all just plan a trip together and go there and prove their point.
Yeah, they pool their money together and shit. Yeah.
Take a couple flat earthers with you. Stop in Australia, you know what I'm saying? So you can prove that Australia's not there. And
no, dude, Australia's not real. I tried to mail stuff to Australia today, and they're like, no, can't do it. They gave me this whole story, and they're like, no, you got to go and do this stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
That makes sense.
Wink, wink. And then the lady was like, wink, wink. I was like, uh-huh.
Got you.
Then I gave her the secret flat earth signal. I was like, flat. And she was like, flat.
Got you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Then we did the whole the handshake and stuff.
Oh, the secret handshake?
Yeah, the whole secret handshake. Yeah. I can't show you because it's a secret, guy.
Yeah, and then the people who aren't there and the fake Australians will know the secret handshake too. We can't have them knowing that. Right, it all makes sense.
We know Australia's not real.
Nope. Bakers. Isn't it fun? Isn't it hilarious? Isn't it cool that we can joke about it and laugh about it, because it is laughable?
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
Yes.
But yes, the last blunt has been smoked.
It's been smoked.
We are done.
That's it.
the people who live in the United States who are getting expecting a T-shirt from us, if you send us your information, your T-shirt is in the mail. Everybody else overseas,
Yeah, Jimmy, if you're still in there,
there's slight delays because one, Australia doesn't exist, and Jimmy, if you're still in here,
Yeah,
or Sarah, whoever's in here, yeah, we need to clarify your address and stuff, and then yours will take a little bit because I got to do the whole customs thing and everything. I'm like, it's a T-shirt. They're like, well, fill out the form. I'm like, does England not exist either? How come you making me fill out all these forms?
They work hard on those fake accents, don't they?
So yeah, the people down under and the people across the pond expecting the T-shirts. They will be coming soon. Hopefully next week I can get them mailed out and everything. So yes, Jonaside and Out of Mind and everybody else getting one who's here. It's on the way. If you want tracking numbers and stuff, I can give it to you or whatever.
All that. You can contact
But
them
not
for
right
that.
now. But somehow contact me, and if I see it, I'll give you a tracking number.
Yeah, good luck.
Otherwise, I'll tell you when it's here next week. I'll be like, you got your shirt. I know you did.
I know you got it.
Don't be trying to get another one.
They see their neighbor walking
No, we
around
got more
trying to
too. So, who needs a shirt tonight? I don't know.
It's a shirt when it
Yeah,
smells
it probably
like weed.
will smell like weed. There's men in a box sitting right over here all the time when we down here smoking weed. So.
Woohoo!
I thought about putting in ashtrays that we used. We have tons of ashtrays, but then I was like, dog smell it or something like
Yeah.
that. I'd have to like really wrap it up and everything. It'd be like, especially like stuff going overseas. Customs would be like, what the fuck is this?
Is it a used
Is it a used ashtray?
It smells like weed. Hella weed.
Sure, KB, you getting a shirt. Send
Yeah, I don't know if
your
KB, are you on any
Are
social
you on
media?
social media at all? Are you on Twitter or Instagram? If you're on Instagram, then you can DM me your shipping information. It's Paranormal Hood Live Radio. And if you're on Twitter, you can DM. Okay, if you're on Facebook, then get at Jiggy on the Paranormal Hood.
Yeah, there's a Paranormal Hood, what do you call it, fan page on there.
Paranormal Hood fan page. Talk to Jiggy. Paranormal Hood fan page on Facebook, and you get a shirt tonight, KB. So there you go, and then somebody else will get one next week.
Yeah, that's it.
Since we still got, I don't know, maybe like 10, well now 9 more, I think, or something like that. I gotta fucking count them again. And we'll have more made too next time we get some more money up and stuff, because I think we'll have some money left over hopefully after shipping these. I don't know, because the stuff going down under and stuff is a little bit more pricey, but we might have a little bit left over and stuff. So get some more maybe because it's getting closer to the winter. Well, up here it is anyway. Down there, I mean, would have been nice for the people down under to get some sweatshirts right now. Although your winters are nothing like our winters. I don't even think you guys need hoodies down there.
I don't know what their winters are like. I know our winters can be
Definitely ain't
brutal.
snowing.
Yeah, got you.
But, all right, peace and love, everybody.
Peace
We
and
out.
love. That's it.